So I changed it up, but I went with something familiar for the intro.
Very nice. I liked it. No, I love your little intro.
Well, I had to get a robot in there. I mean, come on, they're handmade by robots. So when they're not working for you, creating tiny, cute little things, then they're dancing their rear ends off. Welcome, everybody. We've got a whole bunch of people in the house. We've got Rue Crew, Landmark, Campbell's is here, Tats is here, Christina's here, Allie's here. What's up, Allie? Allie's at work, though, so she's going to not be chatting, but will be listening in. Trapper's here. Caitlin's here. We are echoing still.
Is it me?
Hang on,
I think so.
Are we getting an echo? Everybody else good?
Yeah, I think it's it's definitely
John.
your mic.
Back on. All right. I'm going to give me 2 minutes. I'm going to text Mrs. JLH and figure this out. I'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we'll start with the four of us, and I thank you guys for coming back. So lots of crazy things have happened in the past 2 weeks. Number one, my collection went from 4 to a lot. I have a wall. So as you can see, there is a blank space here.
Oh, good.
That is where Handmade by Robots is going to go. So everything that's up on the top shelves is my grails, either personal or otherwise monetarily grails. And so you guys are getting your own top shelf section there. So I've cleared out a whole wall space for you.
I like your T-shirt you're wearing today, Brandy.
Yeah, I am. I'm twinning with Mike Cap.
Stop Mike Cap.
Then you've got Michael. So Michael is Ghoul, guys. But you got Michael over there with the hashtag Stop Mike Cap. So do you want to explain why you're wearing a Stop Mike Cap shirt?
Just because he's an awful person, really. No, it's actually the last video. There's a screenshot of him holding Piglet. I think just showing him off, and it looked like one of those like terrorist videos where he's gonna like decapitate someone. So I was like, well, we need to stop this guy. Piglet looks like he's in trouble. And it's kind of just snowballed from there. Now he's being held hostage.
Things have escalated.
Yes. That's terrible, Mike.
Shut that piglet up. You shut that piglet up.
Oh my God.
What's up, Nadia? What's up, Funko Fat Guy? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We have a massive unboxing to do tonight because I did put my money where my mouth is. So I wasn't just on here preaching that I love your stuff and then not actually have your stuff. So I went, like I said, from 4 to an entire wall of these tonight. But there were questions that came up afterwards. Eric says Mike Cap is a bad guy.
When he chooses to be.
Hey, Nick, I did not wash my hair, but I did put on my hat.
And I'm wearing their hat. So we do have a giveaway. We've got 3 giveaways. Everybody knows that. We ended the ability to enter those at 6:45. If you had all day yesterday and this morning to get in on that, we are giving away 3. So the Batman came in, and I will show this one off because one of these is mine. But I will show him off. So this is one of the Batmans that we're giving away. MI Pops donated Stripe. He is amazing, you guys. I'm not going to open this one. I'll let the person but I will show you guys all the box art and everything when we get to that point.
Hi, Bob. Bob's here.
Butter! Umpty's here. James is here. And then we also have an OG Captain Kirk to give away tonight, too. So the history on this is I told Mike and Mary about this, but I ordered this from a company called Radar Toys. What's up, Spooky Mary Nerds? And when it arrived on my porch, it was in a bag.
That
is like every collector's worst nightmare. And I'm looking at it, and I could see that it was like not the shape of a box anymore. And I was like, they're not going to be able to get me another one in time. So I just didn't, I was like, whatever. I'm just, it is what it is. I'll just take him out of box. And I reached out to him. I'm like, look, I was really excited that you guys ship super fast. I said, but next time, just charge me a little bit more and please put things like this in a box because people are collectors and sometimes they want the boxes to go with them. And I didn't say anything. And then they responded to say, and I'd sent Mary and Mike the pictures of the damage to the box. And it was worse. Like I had put the box back together somewhat. And so Mary was sweet enough that when she sent me an order that she had thrown another one in there unbeknownst to me. And at the same time, Radar Toys opted to send me a new one. So I don't need two of them. I'd rather share the wealth. So the one that I purchased, I'm going to keep the one that Mary sent me because I always keep gifts. And the one that I bought from Radar Toys is one of the giveaways. What's going on, Mom? Sad Bones is here. How are you? Did I miss anybody? I missed anybody? I don't think I missed anybody.
Mike, did you see someone said you looked great without your beard?
No, I missed.
Somebody was.
That was Nadia, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, the chat's not coming up for me.
Oh, it's not?
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, click on her comments.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah, all right. You got it now?
Well, that's
so,
good. I'm glad because so far I've had people tell me that I look like a little elf. And then I had another person tell me that now I look like a gnome.
Now you look like a gnome?
Don't gnomes normally have beards though? I feel like
I don't know, man. You know what? This whole stop my cap is really, I think, gone too far. Even with the beard, the shaven beard comments, and I think it's your fault, Michael.
Hi, John.
Probably is. Hey, he's back.
John's back.
Does that work?
Yeah, you're good now.
No echo?
No echo.
No echo. Okay, good. Hold on.
No reverb.
No.
Hold on, he's about to mark it up again. Hold on.
Hold on 1 minute. Okay. All right. How are you doing, everybody? Welcome, and I appreciate you having me, Geek Meets Eats. How are you tonight?
Oh, good.
Sorry, I just read Me Pops.
Who's that little boy?
Oh, this podcast took a horrible turn.
Yeah, it definitely took a wrong turn at, music from the Elder.
Mama Jay, thanks for stopping by. She's on her third lunch, which means she's working like an all-day shift.
Those are always fun. I love how T-Mobile tried to sell me on the fact that we have so much fun at work. We have a gymnasium. And I'm like, do you have a donut shop? I'm like...
and we're already getting requests. I told you this was going to happen tonight, Mary. So I don't know if you watched the Funko Fat Guy video from the other day.
Yes, I did. I did.
Like, let you guys know, I'm a pusher now.
I know.
I mean, I've seen numerous videos, numerous posts. Oh, thanks, Brady. You got me hooked on these and Geek Meets. I saw these on Geek Meets Eats and I bought one. And then I was talking to Disnerd Canadian today. And I said, he had said something on one of my posts, and I said, have you seen the Disney ones yet? And I started sending him screenshots of like Stitch and Pooh and everything else. And he's like, dang it, Brandy, I just got back from vacation. I was trying to save my money, but do they ship to Canada? And you do. And that is one thing that sets you apart. I'm frozen, aren't I?
We do, but unfortunately,
the
whoever buys it, the end consumer has to pay some duties and taxes, but
you still ship there, and that's one of the things that other collecting company that we're not going to mention, even though they're behind me, that they don't do. They don't ship to Canada. You told me that you got an order from France. Is that correct?
I got a Mama Fratelli from France, and they ponied up like $35 for shipping. I'm like, okay, go for it.
You want it, you got it.
Yeah.
I was genuinely stunned that a Mama Fratelli was like, when that was one of the first ones Brandy showed me, and I was like, and I thought it was her character from Throw Mama from the Train that was being portrayed. I'm like, wow, what a great movie to pick up on. And, go, I've never seen one. And then she's like, no, it's Ma Fratelli. And I'm like, I've never seen one of those either. Like, it was just.
People love that one.
Yeah,
that one's super popular.
Yeah, it is online for sure. And people buy the whole collection. I had somebody suggest today, or I saw somewhere what they wanted more of the Goonies characters, which I have written down because I would love to do more Goonies. And I totally agree. I think he's in the chat. I want to do more Golden. I want to do Golden Girls. So I actually already reached out to the licensor. So I'll see how it goes.
She's such a cool looking character.
License.
Yeah.
So John, I know you wanted to ask him about the story on the side.
Well, yes. So now, Mary, and pleased to see you all in sort of person. This is as close as you get in post-COVID age, right? But my question is, the first one was, I received an invoice after I bought my first few, and and it said, I think it was your handwritten thank you, Mary. I think you had written thank you for Mary on it. My question was, is that your writing on the side of the box?
That is not, because if you looked at my writing on the packing slip where I signed it, you probably couldn't even read it anyway. So no, that is just a script text. But we can pretend that one of my robot ancestors or predecessors wrote it.
Sure, I'm with that. Okay. And I'll tell you, it's like the story on the side of the box, and I actually quoted it when you guys had reached out about doing some recordings for what we liked about the product. It just rolled off my tongue when I did it. It just the humor that's on the side of the box is great. As far as just, I like that sarcastic kind of bent, especially from robots. And I don't know, it just makes the box even better. But I guess my question, in the sense of the story itself, like who and what and why came up with that particular storyline?
So so back in the day, I'll give you a real backstory. So Nerd Block, when they were around, we did these creepy doll characters for them, or they were just the doll heads. So the story behind the creative on that was they wanted a series of creepy doll heads that looked like the factory was abandoned and taken over by the dolls. So we did Baby Bleeds You Dry. So it was a little light up head that had fangs. And then we did Baby Eats You Alive, I think. And that was like a zombie. One, but we love the whole backstory of the fact that they took over the factory and they're just making what they think you want, so that was kind of what, we really wanted this knit texture. So we kind of went back to how would robots make a hand knitted toy, and so that they would do it in the factory. And we love the little, the backstory was actually written by a very good colleague of Mike and I's, John Fraser. He's been in the industry forever. He was the lead buyer at ThinkGeek for 12, 15 years. Yeah. He knows pop culture better than pretty much anybody. And he wrote that little ditty for us. So thank you, John Fraser, wherever you are.
Now, the most important fun fact out of this origin story was that when we all voted to come up with the name, we had a bunch of different names and the whole kind of like, what's the vision? We all did that while drinking. The team, there was probably around 5 or 6 of us. We were all drinking beer at Red Robin.
It's true.
And then that's when we all did our final little tally sheet and stuff like that. And that's where we all voted. We're like, yes, handmade by robots. And can you believe it? Mary, do you remember? There actually were a few people who did not want that name.
Yes, they shall remain nameless as well. Immediately gone. Yes.
Well, out of here.
Yeah, Red Robin.
Much like the rock group Kiss, right?
They
drove around in a Pontiac
Michael
in the middle of New
Gould
York,
has
suggesting
become
names
my
for the band,
filter.
Right? What's that?
Oh, I was going to say Michael Gould. He won't let me talk about too much upcoming stuff. So he's like, no, you can't talk about that. You can't talk about this. But I will say that the robots are coming soon. The robots are coming soon. We've seen what they're going to look like. They're adorable. And I will shut up now, Michael. I'm sorry I even said that.
Nothing wrong with that. But like you talk about the name of the name Handmade by Robots. What were the other names? Were there other names that were close, or were there some that were just so absurd you're like, nobody would ever buy that as a company?
Oh, well, we were drinking, so we came up with some really stupid shit. I mean, we came up with some things.
I really can't remember a lot of the other names. You know what I mean? I can't remember what some of those original names were.
But it always involved robots, no matter what.
No, not necessarily.
Probably on a napkin somewhere.
Shut up. Sorry.
And then that napkin someday will go into the HMBR Hall of Fame.
Right.
Yes, if you guys hadn't heard the story on the sign, it says ambulatory biological units like yourselves require warmth and soft embraces. We robots know not of such things. Our best approximation is thus enclosed: the appearance of interwoven organic fibers into recognizable characters from your popular culture. though made from solidified polymers. Our research indicates they would be given and received as gestures of friendship and love. May your acquaintances find value in such meaningless activities. I mean,
hear
it's
like
it's
this robot voice saying
like a robot.
Though, you know, like, hey people, this is going to be your thing. You know, like I hear that type of robot saying that, you know, and that it makes my 6 a.m. coffee, you know, pretty entertaining. So
you did ambulatory biological units, John, in your videos rolled off your tongue, like you said. Boom, you had it.
I came this close to sending you because I probably recorded that 4 times in the sense of trying to get ambulatory whatever out of my mouth. I was like, blah, 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 blah. And like, it was tough for a couple rounds, and then it just hit like Tyson against Spinks in '88, you know.
Yeah, so like I said, we have a lot of fun things coming up with the robots. They're going to have their own personalities. So we're going to do a lot of fun things. Right, Michael?
Yeah, lots of fun things.
Okay.
We'll see you soon. Don't worry about it.
Can we get the elephant out of the room? Do you guys see what's over Michael's shoulder there in the background?
Oh, yes.
So
I see those ding dongs.
No. Yeah. So yeah, we were
no, they're just dongs. It's just dongs.
That
oh my God.
See anything.
I did not realize that until just now, Michael.
Hold on. Did Mary say shut up to her dog a few minutes ago?
I did.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
then I can
yeah.
say, shut up. Be quiet. I'm talking.
Normally,
my dog's barking too.
Shh.
Yeah. Oh, I love your dog. What's her
Pop-Tart.
name? His name?
That's Pop-Tart.
I
Pop-Tart.
love Pop-Tart. I need a 9th dog, Brandy.
You need yes, but you named them after Winnie the Pooh characters, so
I know, and Barnum and Bailey, but that's a whole other story. Trash dogs.
Yeah, I'm sorry about all the dong talk the other day, but that was fun. See, Mama J, dong. So, yeah.
When Mary said she was grabbing her, what did you say you were adding rum to your Diet Coke? Is that what you were doing?
Yes.
Yeah. I was like rum to some of that Coke. Like.
Oh no, not the dogs again.
Big Dog Dave says you don't need a 9th dog.
No, you don't need a 9th dog. You don't even need an 8th. You don't even need a 7th. 1 usually does the trick. You can't play with all 8 at once. Hello, Dave.
So, Michael, I want to get you involved in this conversation, and obviously,
you shouldn't.
You are one of the newer members of the team. I don't know, obviously, all the ins and outs of who you guys hire and fire and everything else, but
same.
We're going to ask the entire panel this question because John and I had agreed this is one of the questions. But when did you start collecting, Michael, and what did you start with?
When I start, I mean, I've collected a lot of stuff like throughout my life. First was probably guitars, and then I started collecting like retro video games. I was super big into that for a while. And then 2 years into the toys behind you, I got really big into those, started my own like collecting group. And that was pretty much my life for a very, very long time.
It's like an addicts meeting right now. It's like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. It's like just thinking back on the amounts of money that I've spent. A lot, but
head pusher.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like toys or like collectible like figures, probably like the last 15 years or so. I'm 29, by the way, so it's been a while.
It's been a lot in a short amount of time.
So I have a question for you guys. Michael, Brandy, to Disney World for like 2 weeks. He's like, I gotta take my family somewhere. So, because we were just working them to death. So I'm going to be able to do some more artwork and maybe speed up some of my timelines and all that kind of stuff. So,
Mary, I want to ask you because I mentioned you in a voice text because I taught you how to voice text.
Yes, you did. Oh my God, trouble.
But I wanted to ask. You had said something about. I know Eric from Two Boys and Their Pops a few weeks ago had mentioned The Walking Dead, and you were like, "Well, I'm not. That wasn't the brand you were chasing at this point in time for whatever reason." In your like, what do you go into a store and just be like, "Okay, I think I need to." Take a close. How do you personally, Mary? How do you determine what you're going to invest your time and money in, without even talking to somebody? Like what's your thought processes?
First of all, it has to be something I love. I don't care if it's like I think I talked about it last time. Anime is not my doesn't float my boat, so I'll probably never do it. I love all the evergreen stuff. I love all the retro stuff. I listen to what, from that, and what can we make cute? There's certain characters that we just can't make because you couldn't knit it. So I always look at it through that lens first. Could I knit this little guy or girl or thing? And yes, I could. Okay. And then I also know our manufacturing limitations, if I can't make it huge spiky hair or those kinds of things. So I take that in consideration. And then just kind of looking ahead in my mind, what our product assortment looks like. I do, of course, listen to the retailers, and what they're interested in, because we'll get like 18 to 24 months, like, okay, this, we're going to do a feature around this new movie. So there's so much bits of intel that come in from both the licensors about what's launching and what movies are coming out and all that. Yes, Brandy.
No, I keep freezing, so I keep using the force to get it to move.
So there's all those bits.
I've been hypnotized 3 freaking times.
Right.
When you're doing that.
So the other thing I've been really enjoying, like now that we're, talking to a lot of people on social media, is I get all that feedback from them too. I mean, Golden Girls, I love hearing that, or Scooby-Doo villains. What, somebody hit me up today and that you should do an OG Pennywise. And I go, that's a great idea. So, and that really matters to me because you guys all talk amongst yourselves. You have such a vibrant community and all communicate. To be plugged into that is huge.
100%. So and I know I had mentioned to you as well, and this is where Mike Cap can come in and agree. Again, you would ask me, is Kiss a sellable product in this day and age? I'm like, well, to the right people, all 4 of us. But the thing is, it's like with the 50th anniversary of the band next year, is that more of an enticement to be like, okay, I could talk to these guys even sooner now, per se, to try and get something revolving around that?
So the great thing is, we're going to have our characters that we do a lot of, Nightmare Before Christmas or Batman or whatever. Those are good, core business builders. They're going to create revenue. The more I can do, the more I can do of kind of the mainstream or we're on the freeway of products, I can go branch off and take the $6 Million Man exit or the, all these other exits that I want to take because I love them, so that gives me an opportunity to do a 360 piece exclusive with me and Hello Sydney or whatever. So, I have to be,
casual little drop there.
I have to be fiscally responsible to the company, but so far so good. And that allows me to be able to, Mike and I riff on this all the time, or Michael and I do, like, hey, we should do this. Wouldn't that be fun? So it allows us as fans to kind of create some really interesting characters too.
Thank you for that. And Mike, I have a question for you, Mike Cap, in the sense of your art on your Instagram page. Yes. You as a designer, in the sense of just, I love it, by the way. I was looking at it this morning. I mean, there's some amazing stuff going on there. Does that art work over into your creativity of the toys as well? I mean, or is that a separate institution for you?
I keep them completely separate. Yep. I don't. Yeah. I mean, I tried that.
Your relaxation, essentially, away from the job.
And a designer right out of college, and I knew within a month that that's not what I want to do. Now, working with artists and stuff like that, I love collaborating, love talking about ideas, love to do some quick sketches and let them run with it and stuff like that. But when it comes to the art, I don't like being told what to do. There's no way I could work with a licensor. So I keep it 100% separate.
And that must save your sanity. I mean, because, tortured minds that we all are with our creative bents. But I mean, in your art, I just see a lot of personalization, if that's the word. You can feel like, I'm no artist critic, but I appreciate art for what it is. And I just, when I look at your page, there's a feeling to that art that you mean it, if that means anything, like you really enjoy doing that.
And I mean, I used to have a website, and I used to sell my originals, and I used to sell my prints and stuff like that. Now I don't.
Yeah, I need a t-shirt with Abe Lincoln and Ace Frehley makeup.
Is just for me. I'll do a show. I got some people coming up to check out the studio here in a week or so, and they want to do some shows maybe. I'm going to entertain the idea because they're coming up here and they're coming to my house and my studio and checking it out. But
it's funny.
But like a website shipping, I'm not into that anymore, man. If you want to come to for my art, if you want to come to my house, you pay me cash or write me a check or give me some Bitcoin.
Then some Bitcoin.
And then you man's taking Bitcoin.
I'm all in.
Stop my cap.
So for those of you watching, there are some things that you guys can do as far as exclusivity, because there are the old school style boxes, and then there are the new school style boxes. So I wanted to ask you guys a question of like, I know that you said in the last show that like each one of these has a number. So this one's 001. So this is obviously the first concept that you did, but Spock and Kirk launched first. So why did you guys choose the Ghostbusters license to go after to do the first design? Was there some interest from the company, or what was chosen there?
We already had a license with Sony, and we were doing tons of like, we did all the Stay Puft cookie jars and Stay Puft salt and pepper shakers, like an angry Stay Puft and a happy Stay Puft, all sorts of really cute, fun Ghostbusters merch. So when we were thinking about this concept, we approached some of our licensors that we had worked with the closest, CBS, Star Trek, Ghostbusters, Sony, and said, hey, and we ran the renders by. I'm like, yeah, give it a shot. Of course we had to modify the contract and all that, but we thought it was worth it to get those, and those were all categories that were near and dear to all our us as well.
So this is the very first one, guys. This is 001. This is the original Stay Puft. I have the toasted one as well, so I will show you guys that one. That was a limited edition. So there are some limited edition ones. And then, Mary, you and I were talking the other day that actually 7, 8, and 9, which is the original Ghostface, Hannibal Lecter in Leatherface, I believe.
Yep.
Those actually have 2 different boxes. So there's the bigger box that were the original run of those. Now there's the newer box, which I've picked up some. I'll show some of those off as well. But there's changes that are coming. So if you guys are looking, well, if anybody can get these, because you can't get all of these. I've been now to 3 different FYEs over the past week, and talking to Michael, because we were trying to find more of the silver Ghostface, because that's one of the ones I wanted to give away, because that's an exclusive. But I mean, you guys, this camera isn't even doing it justice. I probably should have put the one that's on my face on this turntable, because it's not doing it justice.
It's an amazing piece.
And that was the one that we ran by, the render that we ran by Mike when we were trying to come up with this idea, and he kept shooting us down. And that was the Stay Puft was the render that won Mike over and started this whole thing.
Yeah, there it
Let's
is.
see if I can get him to there he goes.
Power of the Prime. It's just such a good looking piece. I mean, and you can't go wrong with Stay Puft no matter what. But this one, look at the nose. All right. So I talked to Brandy about curvature of your product. Like, for example, your Oogie Boogie has there's like a curvature in his stomach that just, I don't know. I said on my show, it makes it look like a real doll. Like the same thing there with the Stay Puft. Like just seeing that nose like that. And again, maybe this makes no difference to anybody, but when I see stuff like that, it's awesome.
It has weight. It has weight to it. You know what I mean? You can actually see. It's like, oh, look, gravity. They sculpted gravity.
Look at that. I mean, the toast on, I would eat it. I mean, the toast on him is toasted.
I would eat it.
Do it. Can we see you? Can we watch you eat it live?
I have a little funny story about burnt Stay Puft, and Mike, you might remember this. When we got the sample from the factory, we said, okay, we want to have these burnt places.
Yeah, I remember.
They did the spray paint of that burnt brown right in his crotch. And I'm like, are you serious? That was the only place they did it. So it looked like Stay Puft, he's angry because he took a dump in his pants. So we revised that drastically, but I was just like, oh.
But that variant is now worth $2 million.
Right? Where is that one?
Now let me ask you. Okay, so I guess I'll use in a music terminology. And Weird Al Yankovic, he's done tons of covers of hits on his own style, right? But he's been told no by artists before. Are there any of these that you've been told no by that you just were like, I really want that, and we'll still try for?
Let me think. Not
just
yet.
say no. We don't give up.
Yeah, well, no.
You're talking about a licensor who kept shooting down ideas.
Yeah, potentially, or a character you wanted to do.
Borderlands 3 shot down a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, they did.
And what would be the reason behind that?
What I remember.
I think because back then it was a new concept, and I think you have to have the product in hand, and and now that we have such an arsenal, such a great lineup, it's easy to look at the collection and go, okay, I get it. But when you're looking at one render, you might not understand it, or they're like, oh, I thought it was plush, So I think getting in people's hands is very helpful.
This is impressive.
I love that. Yeah.
The sewn-in label.
And I know you talked about it on the last show, but kind of refresh me, please. Why that particular? What made that happen?
Because the robots are trying to make a soft plush gift for you, and on traditional plush, there's always a sewn-in label. So it's a floppy label that has, the legal on it and the care instructions. So that is the robot's approximation of what a sewn-in label is. That's how they interpreted it.
You know what's crazy, Mary, is the fact, like when you get most T-shirts, you want to rip that tag off. You're like, get this off. Like this one feels like I would want it to soothe me. Like
it's always everyone's favorite part. Everyone loves that.
Do you need a moment?
I feel like we should just be muting this. Like
I think he's
turn on your camera on
screen.
So one of the things I've noticed too is you guys have gotten more details.
One of those. What are the things, the spinners I use? It's like one of those. Like
So one of the things I noticed on these is that you've actually gotten more detailed as far as the eyebrows on the Toasted Stay Puft are painted on, but I'll show Kirk next. But on Kirk, it's actually you've gone to actually stitching, making it look like the stitches on some of those details.
Who has 01 in their hands? Who has 02?
I have it.
Okay, so show those two side by side in the eyes, and I'll tell you what happened.
Okay.
I'm like on the edge of my seat, like wanting to know. Like, I can't wait to hear about these buttons.
All right. See how original Stay Puft, Happy Stay Puft has no eyebrows.
Yes.
So we wanted to make him look angry. And when he just had the burn marks, he didn't look as angry. So we added the eyebrows after the fact. And that's why they're painted on.
Okay.
As where, so then, if we have a design that starts out, with the eyebrows, we mold those in.
Okay. That makes sense. See?
And again, on the bottom with the Inspect It With Care by Handmade, there's a lot of ways that you can define this product by having, it's got passion and meaning written all over it. You know what I'm saying? It's got what a collector wants.
I think the biggest thing too is they're cool. Yeah. They're just cool products. Like it's not like the same like stand-up hard figure or like, posable, whatever you're gonna like throw around in toy box. They're cool. They look cool.
The only thing we were worried about a little bit, and it hasn't happened at all, was would these characters not resonate with men? Because they look floppy and cute and adorable and plush, but they do. They absolutely do.
And then there's the man's man right down here where he's like all in.
If I was any more of a man, I guess I'd be carrying a shovel and a pick. I don't even know. But I just know that I enjoy interior decorating. I enjoy, Celebrity Big Brother, and I enjoy Handmade by Robots.
Celebrity Big Brother.
That's quite a list to be included in. I just want to say, that's good stuff.
Hey, John,
a very niche list.
That in your, I think I've sent you 3 boxes. One of them's huge, by the way. But
they'll be here tomorrow. They were supposed to be here today, but UPS delayed me.
You are getting your own Handmade by Robots T-shirts. You and your wife.
Wow!
You can represent.
Thank you so much for that. I am excited. I didn't say anything to Brandy, but I was like, I want a shirt.
I want to know when I'm going to get my #StopMikeCap shirt to wear around town.
I'm going to make one for everyone on the team. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
I'll be in touch. After that stream, I literally stopped and I made this within like an hour of the stream.
Oh,
I thought it was Photoshopped.
We need more of that.
Oh no, I literally I had it because I have like all this stuff to like cut and press shirts. I made it, I cut it, I pressed everything like that, and then when I posted that picture, that was already like completely done within an hour of seeing that.
Hey,
Mary,
so
you should do the Willy Wonka golden ticket thing, where like you put like that shirt, you make one of those shirts and throw it in one of the boxes you ship to somebody wherever you ship it, France, wherever. But the lucky winner of the Stop Mike Cap shirt, wins something or gets the shirt itself. But that should be like the golden ticket. Like, did you get the #Stop Mike Cap shirt in your shipment?
I feel like we're gonna hit the point where like. Because it started like just like an internal joke, like it's in like some emails and stuff. But I feel like down the road it's gonna end up being like a T-shirt at a con or something.
And then Mike's gonna want to charge me.
It's gonna be the result of my demise.
Mike's gonna charge
take
me
it way too seriously.
Mike's going to charge me a royalty fee. So a couple comments in the chat I thought were interesting. Nancy talked about Back to the Future. I am in contract with NBC Universal, although they're super slow, which pains me to no end. And then I believe there's a question there for you, Michael, about how long did it take you to decide to go out and buy a box of dongs for this stream?
Oh, as soon as I knew I was going to be on the stream, I went and bought it. Like, I'm a very, like, just get things done. Mary knows this.
Yeah.
Like, if I have an idea or something, I'm just like, I'm just going to do it right now. So I just went out to the store as soon as I knew, and I bought them.
I like that question on the stream right there.
Talk.
Huh?
The question is, do these get vaulted?
So yeah, are you going to like make some of them, like, are you not going to make any more Kirk and Spock? Are you know some of the older, the first ones, are there some that you're going to quote unquote vault or make, or not make them anymore, so they are going to become more limited?
Well, I don't have the CBS license anymore, so you can consider those vaulted. And I don't have that Star Trek, and then I don't have the Ghostbusters.
Jumped up on all of those,
right? And then there's certain characters we've done that will maybe not do if they don't perform sales wise. So yeah,
Big Daddy will be vaulted.
Yep, Big Daddy,
Psycho Bandit will be vaulted.
Got him.
Yeah.
So everybody go to eBay, go to Mercari, buy them right now because they're about to jump in price.
I felt so happy when Mary, like, not in the sense of
that word comes up.
Like, Mary was like, I don't even have one of those. And then she found it, but I'm like, I feel like, I'm like, wow. I'm like, she owns the company or whatever, and I'm like, man, like, I have one. Like, I felt like special.
Well, Brandy, back to your comment, you were surprised when we said we'd come on the show. I was surprised you asked. I was like, somebody wants to talk to us? I'm in. Mike, will you come with me? Yeah, sure.
I'm surprised I'm on the show right now. I've been drunk for like 3 weeks.
After last night, or the last time, yeah.
Oh, we had such a good time, and I'm not kidding you. I talked to you, Mary, afterwards, and we were talking about it, and you're like, well, what kind of feedback? And everyone was like, I loved them. They were great, because obviously it's like most people said. Everybody thinks that companies, these toy companies, are just take money. We just want your money. Just send us your money.
Well, don't get us wrong. We do also want your money so we can keep doing this cool stuff.
You're getting it.
Without the show, there's no business.
But we still like you guys
a lot.
Show. It's a good balance of we like money to keep making stuff, and we like talking to you guys.
I think you can do both. I think you can make your Walmart and Target and GameStop, and then be like, hey, me pops.
Yeah, let's do some fun
look what we got for you
together.
Too.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like I said, we were on this highway, right? So, but I want to keep taking the off ramps and find some really cool stuff to do. So
yeah, then I was like a little hitchhiker on the side of the road, and she picked me up.
You were.
And like you said though, Mary, earlier about not in the sense of a can of worms, but it's like every idea that the communities come up with for the other companies, it seems like the other companies absorb them, take them, and make them their own, right? Where at least at this point with you guys, it's like, as a fan, I feel involved with like just being able to be like, wow, like they're hearing what we're saying. And
yeah, you know what? Let me actually, if you guys don't mind, let me take a minute to talk about that stuff. So, because basically, like, what we want to do is not obviously, with previous companies that make collectibles, they were never really involved with the fans as much. So the fans kind of did their own thing, made their own groups and everything like that. And I made my own group. I felt the same kind of way where I didn't want to feel like I wasn't involved in something, like, because it was something that I really enjoyed. It like became a lot of my life. Like I spent most of my, the spare money that I had buying collectibles up from them. So I was like, let me start a group where like I can, me and my friends can find stuff for each other and like help each other out. And like, oh, I don't have this store near me. Can you buy this and ship it to me? Whatever. Without having to just like publicly ask people. So it was like a little bit easier to collect and, find the products that we need, stuff like that. But then it got to the point where like there were just so many like niche groups, and it became like toxic, where the groups were like fighting with each other, or like people would leave to join another group and stuff like that. And I feel like we can eliminate a lot of that kind of negativity in like the collecting space by just having the group run by us, where we're talking to, because I'm sure you guys can see, like, we posted the stories every day, like, asking questions like, what do you like the best? Do you have any ideas? Like, just stuff like that. We're interacting, kind of get the feedback directly from the people that, buy the products.
So somebody asked about Blacklight, and that's why I pulled the Glow limited edition Slimer out here, because one of the things that I wanted to show off is that there's depth to him even when he's glowing. Like you can see the wrinkles on his tail, you can see, the indents on his head. You have depth to these figures that you don't get in other brands. It's a paint this certain section glow and that's it. There's no thought process behind the design of making it still look like the figure even though he's glowing up.
So one of the interesting things about Slimer, see how cute his butt is?
I love his butt.
Sony had no reference images for his butt. So we made his butt the way we wanted to make it, super cute, and they approved it. So we are the creators of Slimer's butt from that angle.
True. So I got a question for Mary, since we're still talking about old school HMBR. Mary, do you still have the prototype for Handmade by Robot for Claptrap?
No.
Oh,
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I have, in my office at BDA, I do have I kept a bunch of really fun stuff, but I don't think that's one that I kept. So I'm going to show you guys one thing really quick. So we did a whole series of journals back with the old company, and I'm going to show you the butt we designed on the back of the journal, which is I love so much, and that the fact that Sony appreciated this was amazing. So
and if you guys want to know, she actually knits that hat that she's got on. She knitted that hat.
Oh, wow. I didn't even see it till she showed it like that. Wow.
I knit it this weekend in the cocktails and crafts.
I'm just glad you didn't mess that one up too.
Do you have the
you can do that on rum and coke? I got to get me some rum and coke.
So
do you have the Dumbledore hat on hand with you?
Yes, somewhere. So this is I hope you can see my screen. That is Slimer's sexy butt that they approved.
All right,
I'm looking right at it. And
yep, that's it.
Oh wow.
The glow on this is amazing. Now you can't really translate to the camera here, but this is what glow. I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Which of the two of these is your favorite?
The Kirks and the Spocks don't have the tape on the top.
The what?
The tape discs that have the boxes closed. Kirk and Spock, they don't have those on the boxes.
Who knows?
Factory error.
Factory error.
Don't open it.
Speaking of.
Oh wait.
Speaking of a factory error.
No. Oh yeah, this is something special.
What a
I sent
segue.
Michael. Well, I sent Michael this, and if he sells it, I'm going to kill him.
I'm never going to. So no one even ask. So being that, I'm obviously a very hardcore collector. Obviously, I'm not just into the rest of this kind of stuff. As soon as I was told that this exists, I needed it.
And this is factory sealed.
It's factory sealed upside down with both seals intact. That's like the coolest thing.
And I pulled that out.
I love errors in boxes. I'm definitely a fan of finding error toys in boxes. Like I was at Target and found I didn't even collect it, but I bought it. It was like the wrestler Drew McIntyre was in a Roman Reigns package. And I was like, I need this for some reason. And it just, but
it's just one of those things. I don't know. It's like, that's one of it's like the things when you find like a very rare item or something like that. I'm going to put my dong away here. But it's one of those cool things. It's like when you find something that other collectors won't be able to get. It sticks to that reasons you want to collect a specific line or something like that. But without it having to be we only make 12 of these. It's this was just an error, a one-off kind of.
Right, and it's the ultimate one of one in that sense. It's kind of like Mike Cap when he goes to Kiss concerts. He doesn't wear a Mike Cap shirt. He'll try to find probably root through his closet, and he'll try to find the one Kiss shirt that nobody has. Because that's what I do. I'll go to Kiss concerts and I wear this ridiculously ugly white all over Kiss t-shirt. But that's the thing. You want to be the guy with the upside down screen guy in the box. I mean,
that's right. Yeah, and the Stop My Capture. I'm actually, maybe I shouldn't make any more of these. Maybe I should just have this be a one of one.
That's it. And like I said, just put it in one box for some lucky somebody down the line that gets it in France, and then you've made it.
Actually, what we should do when I'm relocated. We should do a one of one Stop My Cap shirt and have you sign it, and we'll send it to somebody.
Now, are you guys all in Washington?
Nope.
I am.
Mike and I are.
And where are you?
Michael's going to be.
I'm in Florida right now.
Oh, wow. So you're making the big jump.
I'm making the biggest jump you can possibly make in the country.
Congratulations, man. Really, that's just awesome to take a leap and just, and take a belief like that and run with it. And how old are you? I mean, and how
I'm
old?
29.
Oh God. You're a young man in an old man's
young
game.
baby.
Oh,
that's what I told him. He was like, oh, and I got to pack and I go, dude, I don't care. Get it done. Let's get you up here. You're an adult. Figure it out.
That's awesome. What a story already, to be able to just say you travel cross country for a dream job. There you go. I mean,
well, that's the thing too, because it's like, my whole job is going to be like social media and like fan engagement, basically just making sure we don't lose, being the cool company. We don't want to get corporate. We don't want to get like, too lost in the woods. So
and you can get as corporate as you want, as long as you keep a pulse on your community. Sure. That's my thing. As long as you keep a good pulse on your community, no matter how giant you get, as long as you get that one guy like you who's like, all right, I'm tapping away at these keys and I'm talking to these people, you'll have that one person, that one fan, sucker, whatever you want, Mark, whatever you want to call us, that love this stuff, and to have somebody being like, yeah, man, this is coming, or you're going to love this when it does, or whatever. Like it adds an element to your company that not a lot of companies are providing. And that's huge.
I'll say this too, just so I can say it very carefully. We have a lot of really big things planned for making sure that we keep a pulse on the community. So I'll leave it at that for now.
Love it.
Really cool things are coming though. So
Mike, I'm going to show it all. Just kidding.
Okay, so here's my thing is you guys have you said 17, 18 is when you guys started. I know why do you guys think it is, and now it's 2022 and I found a few videos that were earlier than of recent, but why do you think all of a sudden you guys are taking off now?
Well, we only had really 4 figures in the marketplace for retail for like a year, and then I had started talking to BDA about combining forces with them, and then the pandemic happened. So, all the figures that we had were out, and then I had to go out and get retail placement. I had to go out and get new licenses. And then, of course, the timeline on getting stuff developed. I mean, if I had stuck with, CBS and Sony, I could have kept developing characters from that product line and kept moving forward. But we went and got all new, the contract with Disney took 8 months. So, that's, we knew we had an exciting form factor and we loved the styling, but we kind of had to restart. We had to stop and restart.
I think too, Brandy and I talked the other day about stuff we liked about the boxes and stuff. One thing that she remarked, and I've really caught even more so, is the fact that you're using the actual image of of the character on the box, to me is huge. Like that's an eye catcher in and of itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's to me that, besides the fact that you have the eyes and the knitting, the product itself, there's just something about seeing that real deal on the box for me that I'm like, wow, that's legit,
Yeah, just coming from like a collector standpoint, I think that's just one of those things that's like, it's really ballsy to put the character on it where you can like visually compare the character to the product and still think, wow, that's definitely that character.
Yes, dude, 100%. I think
it's really just taking that big leap. Like we believe in the product. Here's what the character looks like.
So, Michael, are you saying I'm ballsy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
I'd say and I love that.
I'd say you're ballsy with a big side of dong.
You got moxie. You got the moxie or whatever, right? But really, I didn't even see it from that thing, Michael, where it's like that's a great way to do that. And I'm now seeing it from a whole different side of it. And you're right. That's a very ballsy thing to do, and you're pulling it off. You're pulling it off. It is what it is.
So, are there things that you guys can do without licenses? So are there like
yes.
fan favorite characters, and is that a line that you guys are thinking about doing?
So we have some cryptids we're doing. We're working on a Bigfoot and a Yeti. I think I showed in the last. I showed you guys Krampus. If I didn't, let me know, and I can show it again. And that looks amazing. So yeah, that's something too. If anyone in the chat has a figure that's not licensed that they think is fun, like any cryptids or anything,
I have an idea. I'll throw up a story on Instagram. If you guys have any suggestions of characters you want to see, I'll have that story up in about 30 seconds.
I love that Funko Fat Guy has already went out and bought The Borderlands Psycho and Big Daddy.
Oh wait, we got a really quick. Not to interrupt. I'm sorry.
Nice.
Two Boys and Their Pop says, "Will there be a National Stop My Cap Day?"
Yes.
Every day is National Stop My Cap Day.
Right?
Wait,
yeah, that's my birthday.
No, what's your birthday? Because it'll be the day before. Just so
when
you
is your birthday?
Before my birthday.
Yeah, you'll feel your absolute worst and your absolute best.
I feel like Mike probably has like a summertime birthday. Are you a summertime birthday guy?
Yes, I'm a Leo. August 17th.
Yeah, my mom's August 29th. Yeah, my birthday's in a couple days, and I'm like, time to get moving on to March.
Mine's in 9 days.
Yeah. She's gonna be 21.
Yep.
Again.
For the 24th time, I'm gonna turn 21 for the 24th time.
Mary, as you can see behind me, again, not Al. Well, Al, yes. I'll ask on behalf of my wife, Mrs. JLH. Alice in Wonderland, any of that on the deck?
We have the license. We've developed some of the characters. We just haven't got it into the lineup yet.
You've sold them all without even having they're sold. You know, they're coming right here. Fresno, California.
She's going to develop them all just so you have a
in the book. That's public domain, so that actually could be Disney and unlicensed.
Winnie the Pooh as well. Like isn't the Winnie the Pooh undomained or something too at this point?
They are. God, Disney is fighting that so hard. They got so many things going on where that's why I think you're seeing some new outfits come out in some of the characters and stuff. They want to make sure that they hang on to that. But I mean, I personally would rather do the Disney Winnie the Pooh than just go out and do it. But yeah, and our Winnie the Pooh's super cute. I love the box art, and we couldn't do that without their cooperation.
Ooh, and again, not Brandy, where we were talking about offshoot characters. And okay, so can you be all right? So this is on request of us having 8 dogs named after Winnie the Pooh in the pack. Okay. Will there ever be the chance of getting those lower end Winnie the Pooh characters made, like Owl or Rabbit or Kanga, like the ones you don't see from anybody, literally? Can those secondary Winnie the Pooh characters ever get a shot as a handmade by robots?
So again, that's as I continue on the freeway of selling bajillion Oogie Boogies, that's where I can branch off and do some things, because it's kind of my overall margin, so if I can, sell a lot of one thing, then I'm able to do okay, let's go do this real quick while no one's looking.
a Roo Crew says we need a Roo. The Kanga with Roo in a pouch as a handmade by robot. I mean, I could see Michael doing an entire Instagram post about how awesome that is.
Yeah, but then Michael would want to do like a bloody edition to go into his own collection.
Those secondary characters and stuff like that.
That story's live, by the way, if you guys want to go flood that with ideas.
What's that, Mike Cap?
I was going to say, that's secondary characters and stuff like that. That's a strategy that Diamond Comics is kind of wanting to go in for exclusives. They want to start doing a lot of the secondary characters. So me and Mary had a great meeting with them last Friday, and we're working on planning on some stuff for this year, and probably a lot of the stuff that they want, maybe beginning 2023.
Tell them what Lee over at Diamond Comics calls repaint exclusives.
Lazy exclusives.
Yeah.
Lazy.
100%. Hey, Mary, here's one for you too, in that sense of like that, where so you get a hot property. So I had asked you earlier about, you see something you might like and you're 18 months away. But for example, to use the Peacemaker as the bit, this was out of nowhere. I mean, not that they didn't know 18 months ago it wasn't going to be a hit, but to the general public right now, this thing's becoming the biggest thing as far as television is concerned or whatever. Are you now concerned, well, if I hop on this now, it'll be dead in 18 months? Or would you take that ride to see what happens?
We are already on that ride.
Do you want to taste it?
And that is all I can say, because that is a retailer partner.
Yeah, look at Michael. Look at his cheeks just getting a little bit pink right there.
I don't mean to be Barbara Walters here, but the people need to know.
Always, hey, as a next comic, you should remember, always leave them wanting more.
That's right, brother. And it's very debatable on the comic part. And that's another thing, Mike Cap, where having all of those life experiences, and I don't know about you, Michael, as far as your business run prior to doing this, but, to do a toy business, even though it's fun, to me, you have to have lived a little and have a sense of humor that's pretty cutting edge and have to be able to, quote unquote, get a lot of stuff. and having talked to you three at independent levels over the last few weeks or whatever, and again, talking with you here now, you guys just have you guys have an acerbic wit that serves you well, and I think it translates to the characters as far as the ones you're creating, the horror ones. I mean, you've even turned me. I'm not a horror person collector per se, but I mean, I definitely got Buffalo Bill. I definitely picked up Hannibal Lecter, both suits, and
Buffalo
the kid
Bill
on the bike from The Shining is amazing.
Oh my God, amazing! So Buffalo Bill, funny thing. So Andrea, my project manager, she was like, "Oh my God, we should do Buffalo Bill with Precious," and that's where, and because it's so outlandishly funny and weird, and no one's really done. I haven't seen a whole lot of that, so that's why we did it, because we think it's so funny because of the, and that's why we do a lot of this stuff, because it's just fun and makes us laugh, and if we sell it, great. So we better sell it, but yeah, we've been, and I've noticed through the website, all those kind of super unique ones like Mama Fratelli that, you wouldn't see on the floor of a major retailer. They kill, they do great because people really appreciate those secondary characters.
And I had asked Brandy, because I was like, what can we talk about in the sense of, and that's where I was wondering, do you have to ever wonder, like I used Gremlins as the example. We were looking at Gizmo and Stripe, and it came down to where, back in 1986 or whenever that movie came out, right? And they were billing that around like, Zach Galligan and Ali Sheedy in Gremlins, right? Like, do you ever think like, well, Zach Galligan and Ali Sheedy, like, where's our dolls? Where's our, like, why didn't we ever get stuff? Like,
Gizmo's cute.
Well, yeah, sometimes I think that it's harder to translate our guys into people, but we do a great job. Like if you pick up Kirk, he looks like Kirk. I mean, the flip of the hair, and all that stuff. But there also is so many licensing restrictions with actors' likenesses. So even though it kind of doesn't look like him, we had a Beetlejuice design and they wouldn't let us do it because Michael Keaton didn't like figures of himself. I'm like, okay.
Well, here, I'll put Ralphie out and put him on the turntable because Ralphie, I think you guys captured him very well. What do you do with the knife?
On the flip side, here's one. Here, Mike Cap, for example, or any has there ever been a retailer, or maybe I don't know if you can do this legally by name, or 1 year ago, use an old one if you have one. But has somebody ever come to you, like some brand, and been like, "Hey, this is the one. We want you to do it." Have you ever been like, "Nah, no, thanks"?
Yes. So because I work for BDA and they have a huge stable of corporate clients, I can't say who, but they came to me. They said, "Hey," and I go, "It doesn't fit with the brand. I mean, this would just be stupid. Why would And that created a little internal heat, but I got over it.
Yeah.
It's our brand. It's my brand. It's our brand integrity. I'm going to do, and we may end up doing some corporate characters like we did the Limu Emu and the guy, in the commercials. We had those rendered because they had a corporate client. I thought those were adorable. So there's certain corporate clients that it makes sense. And there's certain corporate clients that I'm like, delete that email. Delete.
No, this looks like Ralphie. Like, who this is. I mean, you did a great job of getting the hair swoop, the way that his glasses are, the look on his face from that movie when he's so mad. And then there's the depth that we were talking about, John, earlier, where he's got the two little puffs on the back. So know that that's like a fluffy little bunny outfit that he's got on. You've got depth to these that you don't see on other products.
And if I can make one request as far as Christmas Story is concerned, an egg 4-pack of the family would be dope.
Writing it down. So, remember, Justin, our lead designer, he's responsible for Loki's characters. I'm responsible for making sure he understands knitting and, changing things that way. But he's brilliant. I mean, I can barely draw a stick figure, as some of you have seen on my packing slips. So, I mean, he's really the one that drives the creativity, and it's getting more refined. And, we're like, there's some characters that have clothes where we actually layer the clothes so it looks like it's on, but most of the clothes we knit into like you would actually knit a figure. So yeah, we're just kind of refining how we're doing it and just keeping a tight eye on how they look. And I am definitely the brand steward about that we couldn't knit that is not authentic. So
look at those ears and flick the tag, Randy. Flick the tag for satisfaction.
Had a girl.
Yeah, Justin's he's just like a fantastic designer. He just has it. He has that it factor when it comes to these figures. He gives them that knack that somebody else, you look at it, you know, if they drew it and it could look, you know, kind of the same, but his would have that it factor of just takes it over the top.
How did you find him?
What's
that?
Well,
you got to get like some Justin videos going, like of him like showing how he kind of does the designs and everything. Because I would watch that. I love documentaries.
TikTok his videos.
We're gonna do a live stream where he draws one of the figures.
Ooh,
and where did you find him at?
We have some
Justin's backstory.
We have some stuff in the works stuff already. So
Mike Cap found him. Mike Cap's been best buddies with him for like 20, 30 years.
Me and Justin, he came to the company that shall not be named. He came in. He was like, "Oh, look, toys!" And he came into the front. My office was in the top area, and I came out and started talking to him. And he was like, "Hey, are you an artist?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "You talk like an artist." And then we started hanging out. And then he saw that I was doing some paintings, and he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna start doing some paintings." And then we're like, "Hey, let's do some shows together. Let's start a website. Let's do gallery shows. Let's do prints, and let's do all this." And then when I got the job over at the Coop, I introduced Justin to Mary, and then he has a line of his own, you know, paintings called Imps and Monsters, and then the Mary was like, "Oh, we should make some plush for you and stuff like that." So the company made a bunch of plush and just, I mean, so yeah, so basically knew Justin from the get go. Yeah, me and Justin have been best friends for.
Hey, Brandy. Yeah, Brandy, pull up Justin's website to show it real quick.
Okay, what's his website?
Impsandmonsters.com. Impsandmonsters.com.
How many designers under Justin?
We now have 2 additional ones.
So that's a total team of 3 doing all of the designing?
Yes, and they're all freelance. So, you know, I can't take up any, you know, I do take up a lot of Justin's time. But the other 2 guys are doing a couple figures a week as well.
In your ideal notion of, let's say the company's running at full bore, all cylinders, the dream day or whatever that is for anybody, but how many designers, like, for example, does the other company have at any given time these days?
Oh God! I mean, I don't know. They probably have over 100 people in their creative department, I would think.
Wow!
At least.
Wow! And what did it start out with?
Oh, 2 guys.
Wow! I mean, it just shows how big that stuff gets, and it's, you know, again, quote unquote, the better it gets or whatever, but. I mean, do you ever anticipate the day, Mary, that you see 100 designers in your basement? I mean,
oh hell no, no, absolutely not. You know, we want to be successful and grow the company, and you know all that good stuff, but
there's limits.
I can't even fathom being that big. I honestly don't even know how that would work. Because I believe they wouldn't let me answer messages on Instagram at that point, and that's not going to happen. I will be answering messages on Instagram with voice text until the day I die.
That's awesome. See, that's the kind of thing out there, people in the chat and people that believe stuff like that. That's what sells me on companies. Not that I matter at all, but I'm telling you, hearing stuff like that, somebody who's rooted in their soul belief as the way it started is the way it ends. You know, yeah, gosh, that just feels good to hear somebody say that and just stay real. You know, I
think something to think about too, though. Like, when you said like, I know I don't matter at all, but you're the only one that matters. Like the fans of the product are really the only ones that do matter, because, you know, a company can make a bunch of cool shit, but unless people are buying it and enjoying it and like, you know, building the fandom around it, then no one cares. So it's like only the fans who do actually matter in the long run. So.
And exactly. And again, you can have millions and millions and millions, but it's those core people out here making YouTube shows or dedicating their lives to it like you did and do. I mean, because again, the addiction's hard to get rid of, but it's like, it's just that, like you said, it's that disconnect when you get too big from anything, you name it, anything gets too big, that disconnect happens. Being able to keep that connection alive is key to the fundamentals of the business.
Yeah, that's Joe, you and Brandy were talking about, like, I loved it when you were talking about, like, hey, you guys were going to FYEs trying to find that, you know, the silver exclusive and stuff like that. So when I'm talking to, you know, the buyer at FYE tomorrow, do you think I'm going to tell her something like that? Hell yes, I'm going to mention that. because what Michael said, that's what matters.
I had your shirt on, and I went into. I mean, there's a ton of collectible stores in Metro Detroit, and so we were out and about, and I had the shirt on today, and the guy's like, "Well, can I help you?" And I said, "Well, do you have any of these?" And I kind of pointed to my chest, and I said, "Handmade by robots." And he goes, "What are those?" I said, "Really? What are the?" I played dumb. I did. I played dumb, and I was like, "Yeah." I said, "There's another store in the area that's getting them." And if you guys see Batman over on my screen here, I want to show you guys. This is another thing that I love is that your micros, which are adorable as well. Yes. The micros don't have the keychain on it, so you can actually just sit them like with any other collectible. But I'm happy to announce that MI Pops is going to be the first store in the country that is getting these micro Batmans. So make sure that is why I wanted you guys to follow them. If you want to get one of these micro Batmans, obviously I have one. I bought it from Handmade by Robots website, but these guys are so cute. You can see that he is tiny in comparison to the regular Batman, but the detail, and I'll grab him when he comes back around again. Come here, guy.
Michael, you had said earlier about variations. You guys wouldn't dive into 800 variations of one thing or whatever, but it leads me to this question now. Seeing the Batman, look at those ruffles at the bottom of the cape. The question would be, in the sense of a Batman, where he's such a evergreen, long-term, everybody loves him kind of license, would that be one of the ones you guys would be like, okay, we'll do a blue and a gray, a black, and would you break the rules for that particular one? Or
we do have a black costume Batman version of that coming out soon. So yeah, I mean, obviously we've painted Ghostface a million times, but we also those are official mask colors. So again, if he's wearing a different uniform, yeah, we'll definitely do that. I know we're supposed to be unboxing shit, but oh well. But I want to show you guys something because
all nighter.
So I wanted to show you something because you think about the development of the products and we talk about it. I want to show you the original idea for the micro. And Mike, you've probably seen this because I think you saw it when I made it. And then Michael, I don't think you've seen it. So I was trying to convey to the import team and, hey, this is the size I want. So I found this random little, figure, right? This little co-molded rubber. And then I taped this to it. So there's the start of Micro Batman. Okay.
Wow.
And then I took a zone bar box and I just cut it up and made it into this kind of size box I wanted. So this is kind of the original thought process of it. And then this is where we ended up with the window box. Where am I going? So this, we're cutting it. We're doing arts and crafts in the office. I mean, so this is where we started and this is where we ended up.
That's incredible.
But I do like my zone bar box.
Look right there. I mean, that's. I always thought you walked in with like a blueprint or or papers or whatever, but who knew you were just cutting up little boxes and be like, I want this. Like,
I want a little baby micros. So yeah, that's how that started.
And they are so cute. And I appreciate you showing off a bunch of those that are coming out, coming soon on the last show. And you guys need to be ready for those and if you missed it, please go back and watch that one because Mary was showing stuff that Michael would probably kill her for right now. But she showed us some of these micros that were coming out, and Michael dropped onto the website the other day. So there's previews, so you can see, this is coming, you guys. This micro, I can announce the mystery machine because it's already on the website. So those are coming, and these are something that is even a greater price point than what you're at. And I think that's something else that hi.
Oompa loompa doompa dee doo.
Yeah, we actually have a whole I just added a coming soon page to the website a few days ago, so we have a whole page of just what's coming up soon. Which doesn't include any of these, but I'm sure it'll be added soon.
So they're back at the unlicensed ones. Like, can you do Santa, Cupid, Easter Bunny, characters like that?
We absolutely could. We have to be careful of seasonality, because I don't want to get yelled at. Why do we have 5,000 Santas in the warehouse and it's June? So I have to be careful of that. But
no, absolutely.
But I am doing.
I think one thing too is like if people would actually want like just a generic Santa.
Oh, we'd make him a killer Santa. Are you kidding? He'd be a terrible evil Santa. He'd be bad Santa without the license or something.
Blood splatter with a glow in the dark beard.
So
Here's
are
a question.
like, is the horror
I know that
stuff more your
Funko.
bread and butter? Like, is that where you intended to go with it originally? Was to do more of the horror characters but make them look adorable? Because I can't believe that you got me to buy Pennywise, Leatherface, and I have 3 Ghostface.
Yeah.
If they just look cute, I mean, that was some of the fun stuff with like Slimer. Not that he's evil, but you know, he's this kind of, you know, terrible little character. He's a little pill. He's a little ugly man, but he's so stinking cute. So, we call it creepy cute. So a lot of those, you know, the dolls, the horror figures, they're creepy cute. So, no, they really resonate with the fans and they sell extremely well. And I love.
Refresh me on Freddy Krueger. What happened with him, and is he ever going to come? No,
because I just hit after our last YouTube, I hit up Warner Brothers again. I go, am I ever going to be able to do Freddy Krueger or Beetlejuice? And they gave me the hard no. And I asked, and actually I have a call with my main license gal this week on Friday. I made the appointment on the pretense of talking to her about other business, but I am going to hit her up again. So, because it's all just companies that made one movie, that made another movie, who owns the rights to the character. And so it's just, 3D characters are out right now. But then I get mad.
Michael Myers in that realm of so many different people having made films?
It kind of is, but NBC, who we're working with on a contract, has Halloween 2 and 3. So I'm able to do Michael Myers if I ever get that deal done.
If you ever did the what is it, Purple Shamrock or whatever, Happy Halloween. If you ever did that, something to do with that, that'd be the craziest. Nobody's ever done Halloween 3. Like,
oh, I know, right? I remember watching that one. What the hell's going on
Silver
here?
Shamrock. That's what it was. Happy Halloween.
The Silver Shamrock. I saw some Silver Shamrock hats somewhere the other day online.
Imagine if you made the Handmade by Robots with the kid with the mask that melted their face when they're watching the TV. Like, that'd be sick.
I have a whole. Oh, good.
He does. Go ahead. I was going to say, I just bought at full retail, of course, a Killer Clowns flannel pink shirt. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, I have a whole list of like horror movie stuff that I'm slowly feeding to Mary. I have tons of stuff that I mean, I want to see a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm a huge horror movie collector, so there's like a lot of stuff I want to see us get done, and then hopefully some more obscure stuff too down the road. But
if I ever see Dr. Giggles, you have really done the trick.
Now, and see, I could verbally vomit all of the pop culture stuff. Like I know that Back to the Future, you answered Nancy, and that I was like, yes. And then Pirates of the Caribbean, because that's like a family thing with us, that I would have to get those. Like, I'm the pop culture person, and literally that's what drew me in was seeing how cutesy that they were, Sloth and Ralphie. And then I had to get all the Goonies because, when you're a crazy completionist, you got to have the whole set. So I've got One-Eyed Willie now, and I've got Chunk, and I've got Mama Fratelli. So I have all 4 of those that have come out. But it's like, this is my thing. I'm not even joking, you guys. Like, I canceled pre-orders of stuff because I'm done. Not done. I'm not going to say that because somebody's going to be like, oh, well, I saw that you got this new one. There's going to be certain ones that I'm still going to get out of that line because I have so many of them, and there's still the ones, like I said, that plug at the heartstrings. But if there were something new that I'm all in on, and you can ask anybody that knows me, I have talked more about you guys and your company in the past 3 weeks than I ever did about all of this.
And it's not that you have to stop collecting that stuff. I mean, # collect things your way, right? It's not that you have to stop collecting it, but it's a very nice, for me, it's a very nice, refreshing reset on collecting. Like, because like, it's just nice to see something new and something different and something quality and something that people enjoy at your business level. Like, you're like, oh my God, I'm doing this job and I'm a toy maker, and it's just, I'm sure there's people that do it for the job, it's a job to somebody that isn't like, I like doing this anymore, and you guys have, I love doing this written all over you, and that translates, and that's, that's huge.
That's one thing too that we notice that's kind of funny is like, people aren't just buying like, oh, I like Ghostface, let me just buy Ghostface. You'll see an order with like Winnie the Pooh, Ghostface, like just a random mix of characters. So you're like, are they buying it off themselves? So, like, it's a whole family of like people who are like, oh, I want Winnie the Pooh. Oh, get me Leatherface. Oh, I want this. I want that. So it's like, it's funny because it's always such a very big, weird mix.
Yeah, one of my favorite orders Go ahead. Sorry, Mike.
Oh, I was gonna say that's kind of what I said last time too. Like, I'm not a big Lion King fan. I don't care about the Lion King, but when I saw those in person at Emerald City Comic Con, the whole deal, the whole full meal deal, man, the packaging and especially that box art, I was like, this is freaking cool. And I don't give a rat's ass about Lion King, but I was just like, these are like my favorites, just because the way that they looked as a whole unit. Yeah.
I'm in the same boat.
Are going to be. Those are my favorite out of that line. I love that stack you did with them. I don't know what it is. You're right, Mike. I'm not a Lion King guy either, but I'm like, I'm going to buy these.
I was telling Mary like last week the same thing. Like,
incredible.
Yeah, I was telling Mary last week. Like, I was like, I don't even like Disney. Like, I live in Florida, and like but like just seeing the Disney characters, I'm like, fuck, dude, I kind of want to collect Disney stuff now. And like, I have no interest in Disney movies whatsoever usually. But like, just because of how cute they are, and it's like I like the product a lot. It's just like, okay, I can see how people could like this, and now like I want all of them.
Plus, you hit, like I jokingly, but I seriously say, for a person who's loaded with all kinds of OCD, ACD, ACDC, all of it, the ability to have something to complete at my leisure or whatever, or again, go on the hunts for what a great thing, because there's nothing funner than finding that stuff that you just find on a shelf of a store or somewhere that you're like, man, I'm glad I was here to get this.
Interestingly enough, so I know I had a good conversation with Nick today, but the smaller retailers, they merchandise their own stores. They make everything look amazing. They know about the products. They curate their collections on shelf. They help their people buy, as where Walmart might start that way with the people that are making the decisions, but I get pictures all the time. There's a guy who I love on Instagram. He used to be a Pepsi distributor, so he's in stores all the time, and he understands merchandising. So he sends me the most terrifying photo of our shit on shelf. I mean, he always tells me he straightens it out for me too afterwards, but he sends me these photos. Like he sent me a picture of, it was some Walmart store somewhere, and it was, I just want to fly there right now and straighten that shit up. But it looked so terrifying the way it was displayed. And they had like 14 chunks. Like almost a whole master carton of chunks, which they should have never gotten, and 2 sloths. And I'm like, how did that, that whole merchandise plan go from, let's display these properly with 3 of these and 3 of these, go to this, what it looked like now. And that's why I appreciate the smaller retailers too. They, they're doing this because it's a passion. They're not just some, granted, again, the big retailers are my highway, so I can do the fun stuff. But it's so nice to see our products merchandise on shelf in a cohesive way that really tells the story.
Can you tell him if he goes to Michigan to please send me the pictures of where he finds them so that I can drive and get more? Because I have people asking me for them, but I will say, MI Pops, the other day I went in to pick up stripes, for the giveaway tonight. And when I walked in, you should have seen their faces light up. And I had the case of stuff that I'm like, well, this is all the ones I'm showing off. And I had bought them Sally as a thank you for the giveaways last time. And so you should have seen the crowd that surrounded us as we started talking about it, because it's funny to hear the passion that comes out of people's voices when they're talking about Handmade by Robots. It's like, oh my God, did you see this? And oh my gosh, did you see this detail? And have you seen him? He looks really super cool. And da-da-da-da-da-da. And there were like probably 5 or 6 people, and Lisa was with me, and she's just like, that was insane. And I'm like, I know. And I'll show part of what I'm saving something for later. And we're going to go ahead and give this away right now. Okay. Since we're talking about MI Pops, but you are right, Mary. There is passion on that. Those are sitting right on their cases right up at the front where all the grails are. And they do not last. Like he's like, yeah, I got 4 stripes and 3 of them are spoken for, but I'm going to give you one for a giveaway. And I'm thinking, well, shoot, dude, I would have bought it. But we're going to give him away right now. So I'm going to share the screen. So thank you to everybody who entered. We're going to go to Bob.
And I'll be right back. I'm going to get another drink. Hold, please.
All right, go ahead, girl.
Okay.
Let's see which one it's going to be. This should be.
So Mike Cap, what was the last Kiss concert you saw?
So while you're looking, I'll tell you this. You've made it when you find your product at thrift shops and yard sales. That's when you know you've made it. That's when you know you've hit the big time. It's like, oh yeah, look at that. there's a stripe at this guy's yard sale, and it's in mint condition. We've made it, handmade by robots.
So where have you been in life in the sense of what something of yours have you seen out there? I mean, where have you been? What's the weirdest thing you've seen somewhere that you've like, I can't believe this is here?
Well, I didn't get to see it personally, but one of my paintings that I had done at a show in Seattle, it was called Travoltron. So it was a combination of John Travolta from Grease and Voltron.
Yeah.
So I combined them and did a mashup. It was Travoltron. And at this gallery in Seattle, it sold. Before they gave all because the show still stayed up, right? Me and Justin had a show. Me and him must have had like between us like 20 paintings. The whole show was like 40 paintings. Legit gallery, you know. And before they were gonna like take the show down and give everybody their paintings, it got stolen off the wall.
What?
Yeah. And then the gallery owner came to me and was like, "Hey, can you redo it?" And I'm like, "No." And
can you redo it?
But anyway, on Facebook, somebody goes, "Hey, Mike Cap Art, is this your painting?" It goes, "I found it at like a thrift store here in Seattle." And I said, "Shit, yeah, it is." They go, "Dude, we bought it for like $3." I was like, "Great find. Good for you," because the gallery paid me anyway. I still got paid. So I was like, "Good for you." And that's when I went, I've made it as an artist.
Yeah.
Well, that's when I went ahead and shut down my website and just said, "No, I'm just going to paint for myself." So that's the weirdest thing. I didn't see it personally. If I would have seen it personally, I would have flipped out. But still, I still flipped out over Facebook. So anyway, there you go.
But it's like you're doing it for yourself, and I think that's kind of reeling it back into your product and everything. Is that I still feel like you guys are doing this for the love of the product. I don't feel like you guys are doing it just to push something out the door. I mean, we all like to make money. Michael's happy that you guys are making enough money that he can,
have a job,
move cross country, and go. But we all still get the feeling in talking to you guys now, twice now, is that you still have that passion for the product and that you guys are still excited about it. And I think if you ever lose that, that's when it's time to stop.
Right.
You're done.
Let's take a closer look at my ghost face hat.
Yeah, let's do it.
Here. Yeah, that is pretty.
It's a little banged up. The shape isn't great, but yes, I love it so much.
Does Handmade by Robots ever, again, you're showing this crochet, and you did this over the weekend over a rum and coke. Knitted. That's my mother would kill me for confusing the two.
Yes, don't confuse the two.
Right. You don't put a cowboy hat on the floor, and you don't confuse knitting and crocheting.
No.
But what was I going to say right there? It was some world-changing thing.
You said I knit it over the weekend with a rum and coke.
Yes, over rum and coke. Again, not where you would break off down the line into other things, but would there ever be buy a hand knitted or hand whatever hat from us here at Handmade by Robots?
I might do a put a kit up, like you can learn how to knit it yourself.
Ooh.
Because I'd love everyone to learn how to knit.
Well, we've already asked you. Hang on, I'm frozen again. We already asked you if that if you ever want to do a cocktails and crafts, that's what we're going to do. We will go out and buy, and you will teach us, even though we will be drinking, so they'll probably turn out horrible. But if you will teach us how to knit, we'd love to have you on.
I can teach everyone how to knit a scarf, no problem, because that's just back and forth. Hats are a little more complicated because you have to shape them, but yeah.
You've gained so much gold out of this crew, Brandy. I mean, not only have you gained friends and toy makers that love what they're doing, but you've gained somebody that's going to teach you a useful skill when all of the power in the internet goes off during World War III. Like, you're going to be able to knit and crochet possibly with the help of Mary from Handmade by Robots.
I always think on that Naked and Afraid, they should just you can knit with your arms. Just knit yourself a little skirt and cover that shit up, man. But no.
Yeah, they probably want to, but then the ratings would go down.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Well, everybody likes the pixelation.
Exactly. So I feel like we're off the rails, but in a super good way. But you guys want to show some more figures or have some unboxings? I'm just going to sit here and try not to talk so much.
Oh no, I mean I'm enjoying the conversation.
Like
so I was gonna say, if you guys are going after the Ghostface, if you guys are the horror fans, and Michael, I think we can agree these are the two that are the most exclusive. So that would be your silver FYE if you can find it still, and then this is the ECC one that's still currently available on their site, but I believe this is a limited run as well.
That is a very limited
talk
run.
About good customer service. I ordered the other night from the site, and based off of a post that came up on Instagram, I'm like, oh, I'm getting this right now. And then I went and got the wrong one. And then luckily, I didn't get the wrong one. There's no wrong one. But luckily, somebody from customer service, wink, wink, wrote me and said, hey, are you sure this is the one you wanted?
Oh, that was Michael, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, we'll come back tomorrow and get the other one. And then 15 minutes later, I came back and bought the other one. But
yeah.
I know. Now I'm going to need a payroll deduction sheet. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about for payroll deduction, you should by now if you entered the contest. But here, let me just let's just show you guys something real quick that I found absolutely adorable and I loved it. And I already got his permission, so.
This is where you can see how terrible my penmanship is too. Oh, there you go.
You got a whole bunch more stickers. And I've got a note which.
Oh, hang on. There it goes.
During the live, again, this is where I talked about the company. I had made a joke on Brandy's live about just having a payroll deduction, through my company to send to them, so I can just pay for stuff as they come along. I got my form, so I will sign this and I will mail it back to you, Mary. We'll figure out an amount and I'll just have it sent to you guys. We got a bunch more stickers. I am going to sticker bomb the heck out of something with all of these.
I'm going to sticker bomb the heck out of something with all of these. But, I mean, Mary, I loved it. I mean, I obviously knew that it was coming. And I wanted his reaction. And that's why I told him, I'm like, do not open those boxes no matter how much you want to, unless you're doing it on camera, because I wanted to see that reaction that he was going to have to that.
That looked like a very formal document.
It was very formally scribbled.
Looked very formal.
Yes.
You know, once it is legally binding in a month, I'm signing up for your payroll deduction, gosh darn it.
Okay.
Yeah, there needs to be a whole program.
Might as well keep the good times rolling.
Oh, I just called my company yesterday and told them, I'm like, you guys might just start sending my checks straight to Handmade by Robots, and then I'll just, I'll have credit there that I can just order when I want to order.
Do you guys want to hear a random story that revolves around a payroll deduction form? So I worked for BDA in the past, and there was this guy. So I'm a really good pool player, so Michael will attest to this. But there was this group of guys that we would go after work a couple times a week and play pool, and we would gamble a little bit, and we'd play this game called Ring Game or whatever. This one guy would lose so much money to me that it became legendary. So in front of like 600 people, the CEO of our company called him out because he got a sales award and it came with an extra, $1,000 or whatever. And in front of the entire company, he goes, now, Steven, what I'm thinking about doing, we just set up that payroll deduction form because of your pool gambling and make it go straight to Mary. So I'm just going to give Mary this check now. And he did it in front of the whole company. And it was very funny. But yeah, his wife, his soon-to-be ex-wife did not appreciate that. So, in fact, she called me one time. He goes, and she said, "Hey, can you stop gambling with Steven?" Because it was just $5 a game or whatever. But he had to write me a giant check one afternoon. So, and I'm like, "Hey, you're going to gamble. I'm going to pay. You're going to pay it." So he had to write me a check, and his wife called me and said, "Could you not gamble with him anymore?" And I said, "Yes." So,
Handmade by Loan Sharks.
Handmade by Pool Sharks. That's us.
Maybe that was one of the original names at Red Robin.
Maybe.
Yeah. Here, since we're holding up product, I'm going to do the same.
What?
Oh, Mike.
Wait, hold on. Someone screenshot this, please.
Wait. I'll put him up big screen.
What is that skull? Like that? I know the piglet.
I don't know what that is.
You don't remember the skull, Mary?
Did we make that? Is that what is that?
There's a prototype we did for Halo.
Oh, that is. I remember that.
Wow.
Yeah. It's weighty too.
You know what? We can have an entire show where Mike and I just show off 100 samples of random shit that we've made.
Have you ever seen Mary or Mike Cap? Have you ever seen the Kistery 2 book, the second Kistery book with the Toys, Games, and Collectors Bible?
You know what? I haven't.
I got it in here. It's got everything Kiss ever prototyped or made or whatever in the books, and up to and including their Revlon makeup line. Like, you have no plans for a Revlon makeup line, right, Mary?
No.
So actually, that was on my list.
I didn't want to spoil that surprise, Michael.
Blushes, handmade blush.
Hey, Michael, you're getting all these comments in the chat, right? I know you put some on Instagram too, but there's so many great ideas in the chat as far as products. I want to make sure we capture all those.
Well, here's the good thing is once this is over, it'll be on YouTube until I take it down, so you guys can come back and visit the chat as much as you guys want.
Yeah, okay. I got overwhelmed, so I'm letting it roll. I figured I was gonna go back later, so guys, just so you know too, we do have that story. If you go to our Instagram stories right now, I did put up a story asking if you guys had any ideas or anything like that. It's better to post to the story than it is to the chat, because the story I will go read directly. And I'm also responding to some right now too. So
here's a quick note too. So we're doing a partnership with Netflix and Walmart. And if you want to get in, if you do want all the figures, go pre-order those 2 All of Us Are Dead figures, that new Netflix show, because they have to, so the only way to get it is through pre-order. And I don't know how many they're going to end up doing, if they do 1,000 or 3,000 or whatever, but go to that link. It's Michael put it up somewhere on our Instagram, but they're, and those drawings, those are actual drawings that we made look real. Those are actually not obviously the real painted samples, but we're trying to propel that one along so that we can do some other Netflix properties too.
With the Netflix
are we talking prototypes? Because I'm being buried with this.
Oh, I know you are. Look at that. It looks so good.
Oh, yeah.
That's a one of a kind, baby.
That is a one of a kind. And
the other one too.
It's even initialed, it's signed. Now, we were having a debate the other day in My Pops about this. This is not the same material as what the actual figures are,
no.
Is it?
So that is a 3D printed sample, and that's why you see such a big hole in the bottom. That is not an actual, we never made a tool for that. That's just an actual hand painted sample. There's
the tag section is there, but there is no tag on it. They were so thrilled in the store the other day. They're like, it doesn't have a tag, and I'm like, no, it doesn't. I'm like, but isn't it so cute? Like, I will be buried.
Back to you, John. You asked if a licensor ever said no, we don't want to do it. We had designed those figures at my old company, and they had approved it. We wanted to reintroduce them, and so we, sent them everything. They said no. I was like,
NASA?
Okay, fine, NASA. Yeah, NASA.
Wow.
Screw you. We'll go to somebody else.
What about, in the sense too, where look at that. What's the other one, Brandy, that you have?
Oh, that's nice.
I'm going to show it, but this is
really nice.
So we repurposed a JT Custom soda stand because he was flopping around in there. So I bought these at My Pops, and I put the fluorescent orange one in with the astronaut because I thought it offset it, and I didn't want to take away from this other prototype that I received, which he's also being buried with me.
I'm linking those figures on our story right now as well.
Congratulations on that. But with the first 2 that are coming out from We're All Dead, right? You pick? Is Netflix the one that says, okay, we want you to do this next, or do you get a choice of what Netflix has to offer?
It's Netflix and Walmart are looking at the trending of what's, they knew even before the show was going to be launched, it was going to be huge. So they picked out the show and said, and they're a space chimp.
I love that one.
Look at the detail on him. I mean, even with the little flag, and then his mouth and the nose. The nose is amazing. When I showed this to Allie before we were doing this, and Allie's like, "Where do I get those?" I go, "You can't, girlfriend. That's mine."
So I told you too, Brandy, I'm going to send you the PDFs of the box artwork that we came up with, and you can just print those out on cardstock and make your own boxes. And then
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I am working with my brother now on ideas on how to make protection for these so that they don't get scratched and dented and dinged up and stuff like that. But for now, these guys are in the company that shall not be named, Soft Protectors with
Brandy. I gotta tell you, that looks great. Like
I like that too.
That is really, really cool looking. Very well done. The colorization of the holder underneath it, I think, really, really accentuates the piece.
Yeah, it looks good.
Wow. Well done, Geek.
Thank you.
Mary, remember we had up on the wall, we had concepted, I was at the coop. I would always think about the ones that we had prepped for X-Files.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Those ones.
So we had
and Scully, and then we were always thinking up what we could do with like all of the, all the evil characters from X-Files.
So I really wanted to do the thing that escaped through the honey bucket, what was that thing with the sucker mouth that ended up in the sewage treatment plant?
Yeah.
And then we also, oh my God, this is terrible, Mike. They're all going to leave. That lady that the inbred family that the mom was living on
kept under the bed,
on the pallet with wheels that they would pull out. We wanted to do her.
Successful HMBR ever, if that would have been made.
For sure.
Absolutely.
It's those offbeat looking ones that do the best, in my opinion, because again, you have to have your main streamers, but those offshoot ones, that gets the fans and that gets the people. I want that one.
Hey, David, in the chat, email your ideas if you want to go direct to Michael at hmbr.fans. And if you want to send me an email at any time, leadrobot@hmbr.fans.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Now, like some of the things that you guys could do, like I'm thinking about, like history-wise too, like stuff that you could do, like the Sphinx and the Pharaohs and things like that, like the Egyptian line of things. Like, would there be any? Because you're kind of playing off the whole Mummy movie, which is kind of like that sci-fi horror type movie, and then Michael's like, "No, that's not a horror movie." Brandy, shut up.
You said it.
It's funny. It's something you said earlier was interesting that, Funko has, I said their name. They have, 10,000 licenses, licensing agreements. I have 7.
Wow.
So, we have a lot of depth in those contracts. Like Warner Brothers, I have, 100 and some things. We've got stuff in the vault that we've never even looked at. So, it's not about going out and getting, a ton of new licenses. It's about, the only ones that So I am going to tell you guys one license I just picked up, which I'm very excited about. And this is more of an off ramp for me, but I'm going to do it anyway. Elvira. Yeah, shush, Michael. Elvira. I'm picking that up. So we're going to do some fun stuff with Elvira. We're actually going to tie that to maybe a charity piece to it, because I want to start doing that more too. But we're going to tie it to a bat rescue charity because of Elvira.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, the Greek gods or actually doing people's signs, like you could do like Aries, Pisces, Aquarius and stuff like that too, so that like people could get it for birthdays kind of a thing. That would be cool.
The other guys did that line. I don't know if they ever completed it, but yeah, that'd be cool to see those. But hearing Elvira is very interesting.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was Michael's idea.
That one's okay to talk about because.
And that licensor was super cool. He's actually best friends with Cassandra, and they live on the same street. And he used to be with Fox licensing for 30 years, and he just got sick of the grind. He said they had okay, God, I hope he's not listening. They had a sign above the door at Fox, and it was like it was at 100,000 or bust. So every contract they wanted $100,000 minimum guarantee. They didn't care about the products. They didn't care about. It was just money. And that's what he loves about working with Cassandra and the Elvira brand, because it's more about making cool stuff. So there you go.
Quality behind that's the quality behind the product. That's right. And that seems to me with all of these brands these days, lots of these larger anything, insert whatever it is here, it's the quality's lost on a lot of this stuff and the price is only going up.
That's one thing we can actually talk about too. That'd be good to bring up without getting into like specifics really. We're really aiming to work with a lot of like smaller companies that are like really grassroots, kind of like what we're doing. Companies that like want to do cool stuff and aren't just like in it for the money. So we have like a hit list of potential hopefuls So hopefully, soon we'll have some.
Michael, I don't know. You're so tight-lipped. I don't like it.
What a ripoff!
More secrets.
What a ripoff! I was getting ready for the. What a tease! What I was.
Do we have
nothing? And then it just kind of tailed off into like, I'm not going to.
Okay, so I will throw one out because it's a.
We make you pay.
Okay, so.
All right, Michael, spill it. Let's hear it.
At least give me some.
So the next one I'm going to probably reach out to is Liquid Death, like the water brand. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them.
Yeah.
So they have a mascot, and their whole thing is about like cutting down plastic and like using cans for their water, and they're like super metal. Like they sponsor like skateboarders, metal bands. Like they're super sick. Their branding is really cool. Here's their. I have like a million of their hats. I think they're a water company, but like I own their entire apparel line. I have all of their hats. I have all their shirts and everything. That's a logo for a water brand. They're super cool.
And we're working with the factory to do like a 90% recycled plastic and recycled paper for the boxes too, just to make sure we hit on all their initiatives too. So
awesome.
Yeah, so just like cool stuff like that because like they're a very like grassroots brand as well, where they're like their team isn't huge. I've actually met one of their creative directors. He was like because they go to the stores, like they go to the stores they're in, and they're like, hey, so how do you guys feel about the product so far? And like they brought us samples, and actually this hat he gave me for free because I was like, oh dude, I love your stuff, like super cool.
And one of the main reasons I'm interested in this brand is the character has eyes for nipples. So I mean,
and his head's a giant can of water.
Yeah.
Well, me and that logo have something in common then.
I know.
You gotta give it a Stop My Cap T-shirt on that character. That has to be the character's T-shirt.
You know what? I
Stop Mike Cap's nipples.
I'm gonna throw this out there. This is, but Mary, I was actually thinking of something similar to what we talked about earlier, to do with this shirt possibly down the road.
Ooh, I'm gonna talk Funko Pops and Unicorns. He wants to know about sports mascots.
Yeah, I just saw that too.
So we are just about. I am days away from getting our first 2 in-stadium giveaways for sports figures. We have a whole sports team at BDA that they sell, a ton of the in-stadium stuff. And one is a NFL team, and the other is an MLB team. So both of those are mascots. And then we have a quarterback who has won an MVP award previously, also being made into a Handmade by Robots.
So that'll be cool to see how that turns out.
Yeah, I'm excited about those.
But what is the movie genre that I hate?
The football helmet, I'm definitely interested to see what those look like.
They're pretty cool.
I mean, love the sports teams. I mean, like the Spartans mascot, Sparty. Like having him as one of these. Oh my gosh!
And we'll do a whole series numbers for the sports, like 1 through whatever, because I don't want to and I don't want to use the word pollute, but I'm going to use it. We want to keep our pop culture figure line kind of, our numbers, and then we'll add a sports Handmade by Robots line that people can collect, because there's not a tremendous crossover between the sports fans and the pop culture fans.
So isn't it, and maybe I'm wrong, I thought, because this is also an 001, but I thought this is like 001A or something like that.
Oh, okay, so the numbering system, I will have to get out a chalkboard and explain to you, but it is, so the micros, we were numbering everything in order, just micros, minis, and whatever, and we decided, you know what, let's create a separate numbering system for the micros. So Batman is 01, Leatherface Pretty Woman from, that GameStop's getting at some point is number 2, and then they go from there. So, and then that 1A was that one mini ECC egg we did.
Okay.
That's the only time we've broken an egg out of the package, and done one egg.
Do you make a same run of every character, or are there lesser runs of certain characters?
Oh yeah, the quantities,
status or whatever.
Yeah, the quantities are all over the board. So I get information from retailers and my sales reps and just my gut feel of what's going to do well. And then, we place an order, and I usually have a backup, a replenishment order coming in. And then there's some I just sneak in. Like I've done as few as 360 units or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Michael, take notes on this for like, if you guys ever put like having those piece counts. Like, hey, by the way, this one only has X amount of piece count. I mean, you guys may reorder them, and that's fine. It's still available. So, but if there's like one that you know is going to be a limited piece count, telling people that is going to drive up that I got to go get this now kind of a thing.
Yeah, we have a couple of those like on the way. Just as of right now, there hasn't really been anything that's really hit that like super low quantity.
So the exclusive I'm doing with Hello Sydney, the Ghostface exclusive, that will be a real low quantity. It will be stickered, and then we'll have a certificate inside, and each character will be numbered. One of whatever.
Oh wow!
360.
Okay.
Yeah. So
will the number the number be on the tag, or
it'll be on the bottom? It'll be printed on the bottom where
Gotcha.
all the legal
Okay.
is. Yeah, and then yeah.
You guys got my money coming hand in droves. I'm telling you what.
So what else? I mean, I could talk all night long, but I know it's already been 2 hours. You guys, I mean, seriously, I'll talk all night long, but I feel like we haven't got to any unboxings or anything. I feel bad.
Oh, I've been unboxing this whole time, my dear. But
and my boxes got delayed till tomorrow, and I have stuff that she showed, so and I got moved to a different room. But I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
Sure. Okay. What's the one genre I don't collect?
Horror.
Yeah, now you do. That's such a good one, though.
Well, he is, and then I saw that his number, his box number is 07, and I'm like, all right, I've got to at least get 1 through 10, so that I have the 1 through 10, and then then I'm like, well, now I need this one, and then I saw like I ordered Wonder Woman and Superman, and I was like, well, I gotta have Batman too, and then I gotta get Flash because those are in numbered order, and I don't know what it is because I'm not that crazy person that has to like everything has to be in a line or anything like that, but. Yeah, I saw this, and he was 07, and I know this isn't the original big box one of this, but I had to get him because he's 7, and I wanted to get at least the first 10 in order that I had those all together. Now I don't know how I'm going to stack them right now because some of the boxes are bigger than the other ones, but I had to get them. I had to.
John, where'd you get Pennywise
because he's actually freaking cute.
He is cute.
I think we cheated on you and went with Big Bad Toy Store.
That's fine. No, you're welcome to cheat on me anytime. all the same bucket. Yeah, the new Leatherface movie's coming out. I'm super excited about that.
I'm pretty sure that's where these came from. No, GameStop. These were GameStop. My mistake.
There's Eeyore.
Oh, I love Eeyore.
Love the Eeyore.
I can tell you, Mama J would totally buy a big Eeyore.
And then Mike Cap was showing Piglet, but here's Piglet again.
Without the tape, without being molested.
That's a free Piglet.
The eggs are I think the eggs are something I just love. I can't tell you how impressed I am by, because I do a joke where I can hide my own Easter eggs, and like I just love the fact that we're gonna do a bit on my show where we hide these in the house and I have to look for them in Easter time. Like,
yeah, good show.
Yeah,
or John, what you should do is hide them, and we have to tell you, like, don't say anything about them being in the show, and like be like, oh, I saw Tigger up here, I saw this, that, and the other.
Right, or people in the 3 people that watch can be like, oh no, it's over there. So yeah, right. But no, these eggs, these are, I guess, how do I word this properly? There's a big focus on these as well, or is this something that's one of your off-road of the highway?
A little off-road, but we have more coming. We got Harry Potter coming. In fact, I can show you Harry Potter if you want to see.
Yeah,
I've got Harry Potter minis. So here's the Harry Potter. There, I'll pull them out. There's Hagrid and Harry.
Babe. Yeah. Oh, you're right there.
Hey, wait, step back. Okay. So there's Hagrid and Harry, and then you've got Dobby and Voldemort. But let me show you this.
I love Dobby.
So we're doing a full-size Dobby, and he has a sock.
Yay!
Let's see here. I can do it. Come on. There we go. All right. So here is Harry.
Oh, wow. Look
at
his hair. Like the hair's like
hair.
The hair's thick.
You see the scar?
Yep.
Yeah. Holy smokes! Look at that.
Yeah.
And then here is Hagrid. Let me show you Hagrid.
Go. Oh yeah.
And that full size Haggard that you guys showed off on the Instagram page, that the hair on him, and the beard just makes it. Speaking of beards,
I have full size Haggard if you want to see it. And then here is Dobby.
That's not Hagrid. That's
Hagrid.
Is that the image that's going to be on the box?
It already has been printed, yes. And then here is the bad guy.
Yeah.
Voldemort. And that Voldemort, that full-size Voldemort is amazing as well.
Sometimes the simpler characters, so if you look at that Voldemort, it's super simple and doesn't have a lot of paint to it. They're the hardest ones, you got to catch that expression and really convey what they look like without a whole lot of detail. So I thought he turned out great too.
And you guys have to thank Justin for this one, because this one, this is like one of my favorites as far as the outfit goes and the detail, as far as her skirt and the eagle, and then her cuffs, and then look at even on the bottom of the boots.
Right. Sometimes we do actual little shoesies. Other times we don't. But one of the things that Warner Brothers suggested on that came out really good is they had us make the cuffs metallic. So you'll see that that's a metallic paint on the cuffs.
Yes, it is.
That Wonder Woman is fire, as the kids say.
Yeah, it is straight gas.
I'm going to be here tomorrow, according to Mrs. JLH. I'm excited. I'm like, wow, that was cooler than I thought.
And then when I got Superman too, there was something, and I forget who I pointed. It was in my pops, but I pointed out something that I thought was an incredible detail that you guys did on the Superman, as well, because I don't know, I've always loved Superman since I was a kid, ever since they made the movies. But on Superman, I'll show you guys this, is that the detail of you guys actually where his cape and his suit is, that there's that divot there, because that's exactly like on the neck, that cape came up a little bit and it gives it. I've never seen that before. I've never seen the detail where they actually, it's not just like kind of straight across where it just looks like the cape wraps around his throat.
It's all Justin, man. I'd love to take credit for it, but I had nothing to do with it.
And his belt is amazing.
You pick him, he sticks him.
Pretty much.
His hair with the curl.
I cannot wait for that to get here tomorrow. And how about this one? You don't have this license anymore. Do you miss it, or is it you had your run and you were done with it?
Hell no, they were terrible to work with. Oh.
They were very difficult. They were very difficult. That is for sure.
Remember when they called me and read me the riot act?
Demands about what they wanted to look like, or
okay. Well, I'm never gonna have this license. I'll just say it. They are the most high and mighty company, and they literally, their VP told me on the phone, they don't care about what the products they make. And like all these, they would rather not even do licensing. I'm like, okay, but yeah,
is that Take Two?
So pretty much. We had a GameStop, Borderlands. No, what was it? Was it a Borderlands, Mike? Should I shut up?
Well, it was Borderlands. It was Borderlands 3. It was for a GameStop. It was for a nice big order.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't approve it, and the GameStop really, really wanted it. And finally, we were like, we were working with them, and
there I am.
Then finally, the VP called and basically said, "Look, we really don't give two shits about product. We're really here to sell games, so we don't care."
And you went Loot Crate with this and the Big Daddy, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. And now is Loot. I don't even know if I was a Loot Crate person with WWE. Is Loot? I don't even know if that's a thing anymore.
They're still around. So they got bought by Joel from NECA.
Yeah, NECA. Joel Weinshanker.
Okay.
So he's been filling those boxes with licenses that he has. So he hasn't bought off, from anybody else in a long time. But the problem with should we go off on a Loot Crate tangent real quick, Mike? The problem with their business model was they should have made it so you pre-order, and 6 months later you get the box. I mean, because they would make, especially when they were doing 700,000 units or something, they would project. They would order 20% too much, and now they have 120,000 units of 5 different products sitting in their warehouse. It added up
like the
real
Kiss
quick.
solo albums.
Really. It was good, but they became a huge inventory issue for them. So that's where
the quality of the product in the boxes got. From my experience with them, it went really downhill after like the 4th or 5th box. I'm like, this is not what I started with, So yeah, they got it. I think that was a case of too much too soon for them.
Yeah.
It was great when it was great, you know.
Yeah.
That's amazing though that you guys got those into the loot crates. That's just, I mean, it's amazing that you can branch the product away. You know, if it's not going one way, you can get it going somewhere else.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Bambox is another company that does those same types of subscription boxes, and I actually stopped doing that one too because there were some that were kind of iffy for a while. But what I do like about that is there's only X amount of those boxes, and if you don't get it, and the pop culture one constantly sells out. But if you don't get it, and the horror one too, I think does. But if you don't get in on it, that's it. You don't get it.
That's
and then
what
there's some of them that, yeah, that's what, if Loot Crate would have done that and made it, you know, there's going to be 2,000 boxes if you don't get in on it, because then they could have driven it up. Okay, this month we're going to do 3,000, and then this month we're going to do 4,000. They didn't do that.
The reason I like the Godzilla comment, Godzilla.
Here's one for you, Mary. I know that, for example, through researching Instagram and going through pages you guys follow and stuff, I know that there's independent people out there doing stuff like this, you know, in the sense of making their own or whatever. Yep. Is there some other competitor that you're always like, we got to watch these guys? Like, is there somebody else that's trying?
I have not seen anyone try to do a craft style figure like we do.
I haven't either.
Yeah, me either.
You know, you go find me a toy executive that knits like I do. Good luck.
Not crochet.
Yeah, not crochet, but I can crochet a little bit. And then most of those ones you see, I had to educate Michael the other night on this. I'm like, that's crochet, that's not knit. So he was like, oh God, calm down. But, you know, so a lot of those ones you see on Etsy or whatever are actually crocheted. But yeah, so I haven't seen anybody.
At least Michael didn't say macrame.
I like macrame too, but yeah.
Well, at least he didn't confuse knit with macrame.
No,
he confused
that would have been a
crochet. So
huge. That would have been the end of our business relationship if he had done that.
That's out of my wheelhouse to begin with. So.
Turn that U-Haul around and head back to Florida.
I'm going to teach Michael and his girlfriend to knit. It's going to be a company requirement.
When does the U-Haul leave for Washington?
Good question.
5 weeks. Yeah, I think so.
So when I talked to him today, when I talked to him earlier today, in the background was just giant moving boxes. So I think he moved those out of the way for you guys. So
look at him. He's like, I hate you guys right now.
Yeah, this was just literally piled with boxes full of figures and stuff.
I don't even like.
I'm a collector. Like the whole reason I found this whole company to begin with was because I collect horror stuff. So I mean, as soon as I saw like, no one does ghost faces that are like the different masks unless it's like a figure with like a couple different heads. So like as soon as I saw it, I was like, well, now I need to buy all of these. So that's actually how I got like in contact with Mary to begin with. I was trying to find the FYE ghost face originally. I posted a story about, and then the metallic Emerald City one. I was like, I really need that. And one of my friends actually was at Emerald City Comic Con. And I was like texting back and forth, and I was like, "Dude, I need you to get this for me." And we were trying to like figure it out, and I was like talking to them and talking to him, and I was like, "Go find their booth, please."
He seemed super irritated that you made him do that. By the way, just a little tidbit.
Well, he was working a table. He wasn't even just there for fun. Like he had a booth there, and I was like, "Bro, I need you to go get it." He gave me his small one too. So
I gave him an extra one, so he did keep one. But that's how I literally, Mike probably remembers because we worked ECCs together. You know, I'm like, God, this kid really wants this green metallic. Okay, yeah, I'll put one aside for you. Calm the hell down, kid. You know, but that was our first interaction.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, you know, I think that's one thing that's really cool too is like doing this. Like, because like I said, I've been collecting figures and like stuff like that forever, so. It's cool to like interact with people, and I'm like, oh, like I know how you feel. Like you can go follow my Instagram, and I'm just a dude who collects stuff and happens to also do this.
And gets haircuts by unicorns.
I'm also a collector, so what's up?
Yeah, and gets haircuts by unicorns.
All right, let's give away another one, you guys. Yep. We're going to give away Batman now. So, for all your whining earlier, John, you had the most comments for the contest.
What was it?
You had the most. You had the most quantity of comments for the contest.
Wow. Well, thank you. I appreciate the support. It's wonderful.
So Beth, actually, she's in Canada. And she was asking about that. So Bev, reach out to Michael, or and he'll be able to help you out with is she here? I don't know if she's here. But Bev was wondering about that as far as, the charges to Canada. There are a lot of people in Canada, and that is one thing that I was glad to see. So I'll have to reach out to Bev.
Michael, you're going to do
ship there because so many of them can't get product from.
Oh yeah, my phone is. I took my phone on Do Not Disturb because it's been going off so much.
Speaking of can't get product, and I see Mary's gone. Maybe, and Michael, maybe you're equipped to answer this too, or Mike, one of the two. With the shipping challenges that are taking place, just using Canada as the example currently with trucking and stuff, have you guys found that your product is having trouble getting to market worldwide or nation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much of a delay are you guys?
All last year was a pain in the ass. There's a lot of stuff that we were hoping to have in stores, June, July, and it's just getting there now.
Wow.
But the good news is that a lot of the retailers get it, so they weren't just canceling, because they're like, well, if we cancel, well, then who knows if we're ever going to get any product, and we're not going to have anything on this shit. So everybody was really patient. So, but yeah,
so
it was a nightmare.
Technically, this conversation of this growth and this stuff, I mean, realistically, because of world challenges in and of itself, you're about, what are we at, February? We're literally 7 months behind the 8 ball as far as word on the ground, as far as being able to get this stuff or be excited about it, because it wasn't really able to be got and shipped out.
Yeah. Things are starting to, everything's starting to catch up now, though. It's kind of, I mean, trust me, it's still a challenge, but nothing
like it was. I mean, probably. I mean, my first figures, besides Ghostface, Leatherface, and Hannibal Lecter, were supposed to arrive in July, and I didn't get them until October, November. Wow. And I'm still on boats. I do have Hagrid if you guys are interested in seeing him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to see him live.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at that.
Got that sexy hair going. So. And there's this little image. He's super cute right there. And then let me pull him out of the box.
I hope you have the line for his belly. That belly makes Hagrid.
He's got a belly. Literally, this figure is bigger than any of the others. I don't know. We didn't do it on purpose, but he's giant. So here's this.
Oh, he is giant.
Yeah.
Look at his belly.
He's got a little belly. He's got a little curvature here.
His hair is absolutely amazing.
Oh, he's got super hair.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites too.
So yeah, he just feels like, here's Ghostface and him next to each other. He just feels bigger.
Oh yeah.
But he still fits in the box, thank God. He's a big boy, man. He's got some girth.
I just want to say,
I should have held on for my haircut so we could do a side by side.
Right.
I just want to say, just making an observation. Ghostface's legs really spread out a little bit more.
This was one of our first designs that Justin did.
I was going to say that's a little more revealing than the newer ones.
But his little robe. His robe's
really doing
some
things there.
His areas there, Mike.
Yeah, that's I think one of the coolest things too with Ghostface.
I see no lump down there, Mike.
Well, you never know who the killer is in each movie. It could be some.
I just want to get out a protractor and start measuring some angles. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my God.
Does anybody still use protractors?
Is anyone still listening? Would be my question.
They are. I mean,
well, they're going to be listening. Yeah, take that, listeners.
Well, because they're all waiting. They still have one more giveaway. Hey, John, let's show yours real quick. Let's show where please. You.
Oh my God, Mike.
Hang on.
Brandy's stuff. Brandy's never going to invite us back.
You guys are welcome to come back every week if you want to.
What are you talking? This is just art supplies.
Oh, I love this.
But I will say that we're on the road to catching her. We have a few in stock here, and one that I can officially tell you, not even the maker has in their possession.
Yeah, I watched this.
Yeah.
I think we have a few more en route as well.
We do. We have more than a few.
And some plans.
Yes, we have more than a few. And I will say the ones that we're going to show you quickly here, not out of box. We're not even going to say them by name because I just want you to see if you can get them in the frame. It's Handmade by Robots. It's a brand that was introduced to me. Literally, the quick story I can tell, and I'll tell it on her show because at least more people will watch there, is the fact that I had never literally heard of the brand. And for all the stuff we collect and for all the YouTube shows we watch that specialize in specialty toys, they had never even done one. So, and they love them so much. But my thing is this. I hadn't heard of them, unfortunately. At 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. By 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'd ordered 8 of them. As Geek Needs Eats was in progress with the Handmade by Robots crew. And I was duly impressed by their presence on screen. I was duly impressed by just the stories they were telling, especially the Evil Knievel story, the Mr. T story, the disagreement that I have with Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer being just cast members in the KISS crew. Well, that's a topic to be kiss-cussed.
Oh my God.
Participation in that fine chat, I discovered a passion very quickly for something new to collect.
I'm hoping I can get I got the part coming up here soon where you go ape over Big Daddy.
Go a little further. Yeah, you can fast forward a little bit. I'm like, yeah, this guy's going a long way.
Brandy turned us on to this, and not
wait till I hold the box and go, I got a Big Daddy.
It was this JLH being like, we need to get this. Like, this is cool.
There it is.
In my room.
Hang on, we're
going to satisfy my. We need to get that hunger. You know, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, this one right here is my golden ticket. I got a golden Big Daddy in my room. 'Cause I've got a Big Daddy in my room.
So happy for you.
I'm gonna go back and clip that for the video.
Yeah, please.
I hope you'll be very happy together.
His wife's telling him, I hope you will be very
There's
happy
a lot
together.
to this, not because I want to be the first to get it or the only one to have it.
Oh yeah, it is. That's all it is. First to get it, the only one to have it. Then Mary has to go and look at her house and find it. I'm like,
I purposely in my office, because I work from home most of the time, went into the office. I'm like, I'm going to find that figure because I'm irritated. So actually, Funko Pops and Unicorns asked if I have the Sanderson sisters, and I do. I have all 5 Hocus Pocus to show you. So here's our good friend Sarah, Beauty Mole,
AKA
and all.
SJP.
Exactly. And then here is Mary. I love her mouth.
I love the mouth. That is excellent.
And these are the mock-up boxes, right?
These are the actual. This is actual pre-production. These are production samples that I got.
The picture. So will it be that drawn picture like that?
Yes.
Will be
Yep. Those are the assets they wanted us to use. So the whole box, all the boxes illustrated art, which is super cool. So you can kind of see that they've used all those illustrated assets. There's a little kitty. There's Binks hanging out.
Wow.
And here's Winifred.
Oh, wow. You never get ones that really accent, like, the teeth. Oh, man.
Yeah. This is one of the most expensive ones we made because of all the details in the uniform or her outfit. That ghoul guy is really handsome. Way to go in and make a comment on yourself, Michael. So this was a tough one, but it came out great, but it looks just like her. And then I have Binks and Billy Butcherson, if you're interested.
Hold on. Now, I'm looking at the boxes, Mary, and I'm going back to where I'm seeing the figures on the front. If I'm not mistaken, having watched that movie a billion times, that's kind of like in the opening sequence, like it's kind of like the stained glass. There's this. They're using artwork from the movie that never gets used in the sense. Like,
so yeah,
I think that's so cool.
It's very from the archives. So and we thought it was a great way to go. We have internally an art team, of course, we don't use our external team, we use them for the design of the characters. But Zara, who's amazing on my art team, she's been designing all the boxes. And so she scours through the licensor's assets and she asked if we could use this stuff. And we really like the pop of the orange with it too. But I like the candle there and all that stuff.
Yep. It's so stand out. I am just in love with it.
And then here is one of my favorites. I think, thing I love about this is Billy Butcherson, or Headless Billy, as we like to say. Now you'll also notice these series numbers are very early, 12, 11, 12, 13, I think, 14, 15, maybe, because we started these so far back in the day, but Disney takes forever to do stuff. So it took forever approvals. But I think this might be my favorite one because we really captured that gaunt feel of his face. Because remember, he was all a skeleton. So you can see the lines in his face that kind of produce that skeleton look.
Oh, yeah.
He's got sexy hair too, even though he's dead. He looks great.
He does.
And there's the artwork. There's the artwork.
Oh yeah.
And
That's
to give you an idea
fire.
on Disney, so we drew the mouth, and then they've had us redraw the stitches on the mouth like 3 times because it's all about the details. And we're like, no problem, we'll get it done. And then their artwork, it's the same on the side, but in the back, it's got the eyes and the little potion bottle over here and all that good stuff.
I told Mary that you should repaint that one and then call it Johnny Depp.
Thank you for sharing those.
I'll be quiet.
Well, Brandy, I guess I know where my money's going in the next few months and years.
Why do you think I cleared a whole space?
Now is that
Why
a
do you think
double
we're
space?
filling up whatnot?
Brandy, I don't think that's enough space.
I don't think so either. But that just means I have to get more shelves.
How many, Mary, off the top of your head? My wife and I have tried to count. We've tried. How many total gettable, not the one of ones, Miss Geek Meets Eats.
Right.
Total off the top of your head, products could somebody walk out and buy right now from Handmade by Robots?
Hold on, I'll tell you. You guys talk amongst yourselves about something else, and I'll do a little tally.
Well, I'll do the last giveaway right now.
Let's talk about how Michael's getting a little loopy. He's trying to score a hat. Looks like he's trying to score a hat in the comments.
Stop, Michael.
What? Who? That's not even me. Who's running that?
I'll tell you right now, Michael, I'm so glad to have Michael on board. He's saved me so much time every day. I'm confident that people's needs are going to get taken care of, because, if I don't get to every comment, he's got the right attitude. He's super techie. He's smart. He's funny. He swears a lot.
But why does he have 3 burner phones for HMBR?
Eisenberg had those too.
Listen.
HR is talking to him about that now.
So Trapper, I know he had to go, but Trapper is the winner of Kirk.
Way to go, Trapper.
Woo! Oh, that's a good win.
That is a good win.
Yeah.
All right, back to you, my dear.
Hold on,
let's all guess on how many.
I'm going to say we guessed 82.
I'm going to say 70. No, like right now, as you can buy on HMBR fans right now, I'm going to say 63.
Randy?
9.
I'm going to go.
Wait, on the website, I'm going to say like 54.
Yeah, I was gonna go a bit lower, like 48-ish.
There are 71 out in the wild.
Woo!
Wow.
71. All right, we're only 20 away.
The egg 4-packs.
Are the egg 4-packs in? That's including eggs?
That includes the eggs.
You know what's sad? I just updated the site yesterday. I should have just known that offhand. I literally keyed all that in manually yesterday.
Hey, you got all those phones to keep track of, man. You can't keep track of all
that
data.
Michael, you don't have GameStop exclusives on the site or anything like that, or FYE. So yeah, my count is a little more accurate.
Oh, you're including that, like, okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Allie.
Out in the wild. Yeah.
Oh,
well,
see,
that is
Mary, there you go.
That is good news for us because I tell you what, we're the hunt is. She gets up in the morning. I'm like, I found these. You want to get those? And somehow we get those. So
one, I need to meet your wife at some point online. I want to and 2, hi. And then I want to know in your amazing room you have, where are Handmade by Robots going?
They are actually, if things had gone well today, you would have seen it because I would have done it live. But we have on the wall behind me where we have the initial setup's going to be on the wall during the show. We have the shelves where like the Alice in Wonderland stuff is currently. The prime pieces that we first got are going to go there. But I'm going to clear off to the side. I have a whole Star Wars other company thing that's, Like Admiral Akbar says about Star Wars, it's a trap because I have too much of it. So that's going to go, and there's going to be an entire wall section dedicated to HMBR, hopefully in numerical order, because I'm one of those guys that needs to have that. But yes, you will have a place of prominence in our room. You can bet your bottom dollar.
Hey, let me ask a question. Has anybody seen anybody do a custom paint for any HMBR yet?
I have not.
No, that was a question I was going to ask you. Are you guys going to do blanks like kind of like I did the other night on the show where I did the Bob Ross? Will you ever do?
Oh, Michael's got a weird look on his face.
That's on my list of things to.
So we have, so we've talked to licensors about that. I have a couple in mind, and that I think people really enjoy, and we would, so we're working on that, but there's only so much time in the
Michael,
day.
you're going to be doing, just grab, one of these Ghostface here like this, right? And just do a custom paint right on that. Primer it up. Go for it.
Yeah. Actually, you know what's funny? It's funny you bring that up because I actually have I have a little paint kit because I used to do like custom figures of other companies.
Oh, okay. I have a great idea. First of all, Brandy,
yes,
you're Bob Ross. Of course, I've on my second drink, so here are my ideas. Your Bob Ross hair with the birds and the sky and all that stuff was amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get like 50 blanks of something. And then you're going to do a cocktails and crafts or whatever you want to do. We're going to do a live. We're going to somehow figure out who gets them. We'll send them out and then we'll all paint them together in a big old shit show.
That might get Miss JLH to make a return to the screen.
Okay.
That would be nice, Allie.
I'll come to that.
So Michael, I also did some custom paints from that other company.
Yeah.
But there was this collector out of where was that guy from? Like North Carolina or something. I would sell them to him, and I think I must have made like $5,000 off of custom painted vinyl.
Oh yeah, I did. Because I did like not just paint too. Like I did like little custom molding and stuff like that of just like horror characters. Yeah. I have pictures somewhere. I'll try to dig out and I'll send them your way.
Here, well, you know how they've also gone the route with their store and everything. You can go and quote make yourself as whatever it is, right? Do you guys ever envision a point in time where like somebody could send you a picture of themselves and you could, for some exorbitant price, make one of them?
I feel like things have to be like very cookie cutter to do that kind of stuff, though.
Not. I'll teach you about the manufacturing process. So all we have to do is a drawing and a 3D drawing, and then they 3D print it at the factory and hand paint it.
I got to get Hulhauser. I got to do it. I got to get. I'll
so
pay.
I want to go back to this idea of us. So what figure should I get? 50 of blanks or 100 or whatever you, Brandy. I'm putting you in charge of this. You and John. Okay. So figure out what character I should get blank that we're all going to paint, and then we'll have a get together where we all paint this shit.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, I also think I've sworn a lot more this show than the last one.
That's
hey,
okay.
you know, it's because you're part of the team. It's like the Olive Garden. We're all family around here.
We spent an hour talking about dongs on Sunday, so
yeah, I think actually Ghostface would be cool because there's so many different versions of the mask that Fun World makes. People can make their own. Like they have, actually, I have some.
I had a thought about painting the costume and leaving the face white, like make the costume a different color.
The problem with Ghostface is he's one color out of the mold, and then we hit the face with the white paint mask. So he would be black, all black. He would be tough to paint.
If I was going to do a custom paint off of a mold, I would want to do one that had the less detail on it for stuff. So I would probably want to do Voldemort or something.
Ooh, yeah.
Then you can really, because then you can really.
I would never get them to agree to it.
I thought this was just for a custom thing for you guys to do.
Well, we could.
I would think Batman would be good. Honestly,
who?
Batman.
Well, hopefully they just won't watch. So we could do Batman, Mike. We could do Voldemort. Whatever you guys want to do.
We could just
check it out.
We could just take ones that are already like.
I don't think there's any
out of the box painted and just paint them ourselves for fun. They can't.
No, I say we get blanks right out of the mold and do it.
I don't even think I wouldn't think that you'd be in violation of anything like that if it's for if it's for a custom paint night or something, a little wine, little custom paint.
Would that muddy the waters with down the road giveaways we have planned for some things?
No,
I don't know.
No,
Just
Michael,
remember, the
calm
chief asked for
down.
rum talking here, so there's a lot to be discussed.
What if those then went for a charity? So they weren't like, you could bid on them like that custom.
No,
Bob
we
Ross
got to
that I
keep
did?
we got to keep this all under the rug, man. If we do
Okay.
this is gonna be this is all top secret, and then I'll just
This is
yell
just
at
I'll
later.
go back and blank out the last 5 minutes of this conversation.
Right? Just, yeah.
What I think
Watergate.
we could do, just as like
Come on, guys, this is just for art's sake only.
I think as long as we're taking them that are already purchased in the box, already painted, and then we decided to paint them ourselves for fun.
What about the mold of this guy? Could you just take this guy?
Yeah, no, I don't have that mold anymore. But we'll do blanks from the factory. We'll do a list somehow. We'll send them out. If people buy them, for cheap, and then I can just send them out, and then we'll paint our brains out.
Bada boom, realist handmade lead robot in the room, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, if somebody like takes a picture of it and then sells it as an NFT for like $2 billion, then you might get in trouble. Then Warner Brothers might.
We can just make our own.
Okay, so this is
make our own crypto.
Okay, I'm going to say we go back to Ghostface because I know David, our licensor, and RJ Torbert would be okay with it.
Plus, they have a million masks. Like they're already doing a million different designs technically, so I think that'd be super sick.
But I would paint more than the mask. I would paint pinstripes, and
Well, you can get. And Michael knows. You can get crazy, man. You can put epoxy in those eyes and that mouth, and you can change shapes. You can do all kinds of stuff.
The only person
I know
with
someone
any
else
reason,
coming to that show.
Any reason in this conversation is Empty Scratch because just do something unlicensed, Mary. Duh. So maybe we can do an unlicensed figure. So yeah, that's not a bad idea either.
Custom Bigfoots.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if you did that, or just what if you had like a blank, just like a male or female figure, or something like that, or just or a figure that they could turn into a male or a female. It didn't matter. It's like here, I'll show you one that I'm doing right now.
Okay.
And then here's just an idea, and then do an Easter show because everybody colors Easter eggs. Then you guys can paint your own little.
Ooh, Mike, that's not bad. Cool.
So this is one that I'm working on for Mama J. So I'm working on the hair and stuff right now. So this is going to be a cross between Wonder Woman and Janis Joplin. So she's going to have the big circle glasses and then the feather coming off the hair and everything else. And then I changed the Wonder Woman outfit so that this is a guitar. So there's things that we can always add to them too. If it's some sort of a blank that you could, kind of turn it into whatever you really wanted it to be.
You can make our own Mr. Potato Head.
Mike, do you remember our holiday party craft where Mike Schiller painted that painting that was so terrible?
We did, yeah. That was like 2000. That was like 2012, I think. Yeah, we all had.
I can try to find the picture of it. Just
there was like
fun.
six of us employees at the time, and we
all
brought in something, an object that we liked, and then we did a little still life, and then we all sat around the table and we painted that day. So we painted the still life, and everybody was from around different viewpoints of the still life. And there was this one guy who we worked with, Mike Schiller. He could not paint whatsoever. I like everything, and even I was just like, wow, man, that's really sad, right? But anyway. But he was a really nice guy, and so to tease him, what we did is we took a picture of his painting, and then we all used it as our Facebook profile pictures for like a month. And he was so mad.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, you gotta have fun though.
So we kept doing it.
Seriously, it's about life. Like life, you can't always take so seriously, and you guys are doing great things, but it's like. I was kind of a little nervous when the dong thing happened the other night. I'm like, they're not going to want to show up on Tuesday night. And because we went there. But
I was the dong instigator.
Who wouldn't get nervous when a dong thing is happening?
Donger need food.
Donger need food. Exactly.
No. Yes, 16 candles handmade by robots. Yes.
We have quite the list of responses already.
Wow. Actually, Michael, let me ask you this. When you get responses, and this will be my final question for the night in the sense of questions, when you get a list of things sent to you like that, do you see one that just pops out more than the others all the time? Or is there just one that surprises you when you see it?
Yeah, I think especially like the people that know that like I'm kind of posting a lot of that stuff. I get lots of like, I mean, everyone's saying the same, like Freddy Krueger, Jason, Chucky, Sam from Trick or Treat, OG Pennywise. It's like just tons of, the rest of the horror cycle, because I think it's especially because of Ghostface. Like so many people that collect horror stuff are following us now. They want more horror, obviously.
Yep. Well, I'm entirely serious about Dr. Giggles. Like that was
my
favorite.
A lot of these are actually pretty spread out, surprisingly. Got Flintstones, X-Men, Powerpuff Girls, Santa
Mary
Claus.
Flintstones. Does that ring a bell in the sense of something you do?
We have the license, and we've already drawn some of the characters, especially the minis. We've done Dino and Pebbles.
I've Michael Myers like Fred. 6 times on this list.
Wow.
And now those kind of figures, all the Hanna-Barbera characters, I love. If we could do Johnny Quest, I've been trying to get Johnny Quest. I love Johnny Quest. That's like my other $6 million man.
No, I've always wanted a Mr. Slate. I'm like one of the few people. I want a Mr. Slate. I've never seen a Mr. Slate doll of any sort. From the Flintstones, the boss of Fred.
Right,
like
right. Yeah.
Like what? Like, yeah.
The Jetsons. Anyway. I love the Jetsons.
Oh yeah, we have Jetsons. We have some Jetson micros already figured out. So
King of the Hill.
Mike, I'm going to send you via email something very top secret that Michael will not let me show.
Yes.
So I want you to look.
Today?
Yeah.
Listen, I've been staring. I'm so excited.
Do you just kind of feel like you're being teased, John? Do you feel like you're being teased?
Brandy, I'm telling you, like I said, the minute you talked to me about this 3 weeks ago, in the middle of the afternoon, and now that we've literally come full circle to where I'm sitting here surrounded by it and going to be even more surrounded by it tomorrow because we're getting all of it. Again, I've been a collector all my life of stuff, and I still have all of the stuff, literally in some sense or form, or I bought it back as an adult to remember it. The thing, like I said, about this stuff is it's got both my wife and I excited to collect it. And again, it resonates because it touches a historical nerve with me as far as memories of my grandmother, and and with the knitting and things like that, not crocheting. And
excellent.
Just knowing and hearing what's coming and what can't even be divulged. But like, if I'm excited what I'm hearing about the Flintstones, like not knowing what I'm not even hearing about, I'm like, man, like what am I not hearing about? Like I want to hear it, So that's what's got me cooking with this product is there's a lot more to come,
Good.
Mary, I love that top secret email that you just sent me.
You're welcome.
I love it. Let me mime it. Let me mime it to John and Brandy.
Do it. Okay, yeah, do mine. Okay, I'm ready. Make him bigger, Brandy. Make him bigger.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay, see if you can figure it out. Okay, you ready?
I'm gonna do sound effects. Beep bop boop, beep boop, beep bop boop boop, beep beep boop boop beep boop boop. Boop, boop, boop.
I know what it is, and that's not even close.
I wish you guys could see John smiling right now.
Okay. What is it? Can you guess?
I mean,
swirly hat.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What's your guess?
I said Peacemaker.
Yes.
No. Yes.
Yes.
No.
Brandy, what was
it's
your
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Even sold.
Closer.
Blue and red.
The punchy looked like
close. Not even
Blue,
close.
No.
Brandy, what was your guess?
I'm hoping that it's like Wally, or what was the other one, John? We were talking about the other day too. I get a robot feel to it, but I'm trying to figure out which
one.
Do it
again. One more time, Mike Cap.
Mike,
let me see.
Do a better job. Get Mike larger again.
Okay.
How about Landmark Collectibles? He's like, God, you guys will never shut up. It's basically what he's saying. Okay. Now I'm gonna make sound effects.
Yeah.
Beep bop boop, beep boop. Mike, that's not it. I didn't even know what to make sound effects to that.
No, that's pretty close.
What is it?
That is
that's a dead
this
giveaway.
has Mike. Oh my God!
what'd you guess?
Nothing. Jesus.
Well, that was a dead giveaway. What do you mean? That was literally it. That was as close as you could possibly get. If you don't get it,
I don't know what else. I don't know what else to do.
I feel like the sheriff is going to show up in my house now, Mike, because of what you just did.
Brandy, any guesses?
No. I mean, I see the
okay,
face.
I'm going to give.
Anyway,
I'm
let's
tell
move
everybody
on.
what it
Let's
is.
move on.
I'm going to tell everybody what it is.
No, Michael, we're not moving on.
It's Ted Nugent.
No, it's not. Oh my God! Don't even.
We've all been waiting for that one. The Great White Buffalo.
Hey, I have a question. So somebody said I needed. I've seen a couple. I needed T-shirts. So.
Oh yeah.
Should I put some of the T-shirts on? Would you guys buy the T-shirts if I put them on the website? I don't know.
Yeah, they would buy the shirts.
Hoodies, shirts, tchotchkes, guts,
I don't know if you guys had gotten any orders tonight, but I guarantee you put those shirts up, you're going to get some.
You know, I have not paid attention to the cha-ching tonight, which is unlike me. I got to be honest. I know this is the marathon show, so we're going till 2 a.m. But I want to show you guys something, another knitting tidbit, just to educate you kids on knitting, because I have you here. So when you're knitting and you knit something like what this is, right? This is called intarsia. Where am I? And it's called in painting with yarn. So don't look at my hair that's banged up. But so these are just 2 different color yarns, and you knit with the yarn. And you see on our figures all the stitch lines as well. We make sure to paint the figures along the stitch lines, right? Look at my hair, everyone. Thank you. And then this is what I did. I took a picture of Ghostface and I put it into this knitting pattern generator, so you can take any picture and figure out how to knit it. So this is how I did it. So I took the picture and it makes little squares, and that's how I figure out what to do.
Oh, that's super cool.
How long have you been knitting, Mary?
My mom knit when we were kids, and she's an amazing seamstress. So I learned to knit when I was a kid, but I didn't do it forever. And then I want to say like 2003, I was watching the Super Bowl, and I don't know why I was bored, but I went down to Ben Franklin and I'm like, I'm going to learn how to knit. So I bought a Learn to Knit kit, and it's been completely bonkers since then.
In a very good way.
A lifestyle Mary stand-up will never be available, but thanks for asking.
Life-size Mary stand-ups. I love it. Ooh, what about something about Mary the license?
Oh my God, can you imagine? Talk about nightcap and the lotion. Good Lord.
So Brandy, do you think anybody? What do you think? Think anybody has learned anything new tonight about Handmade by Robots?
Make me smaller, thank you. Okay.
Yes, sorry, I was picking her up. I heard her get up. She's been in the background snoring for this whole time, and then I heard her get up. So
has this been informative?
This has been super informative, super fun. I wanted to show people more of the figures, because you can see them on the screen, but when you see them 3D looking, and somebody having them in their hands and then talking about it, I mean, it just makes it that much better to figure out what you want to buy. And you don't know the detail until you get them out of the box either, with the Superman and the cape and everything else, and Leatherface and all that. So yeah, it's been, and the tag, John is obsessed with the tag. But it's been absolutely super informative. I think anybody that sees this at any point in time in the future can come back and say, like, okay, this is why they did what they did, and this is their thought process on that. So I think it's been great. I mean, I know at some point that you guys are, I'll have to wait in line with everybody else to get you guys back on. But I love having you guys on, and anytime you guys are welcome.
Yeah, thank you guys for your time, and really just, I'm just glad that Brandy, decided to pick me up and take me along for the ride as far as enjoying this along with her, because really, truly, it's fun to talk about a product again, and that's the funnest part for me.
Good. No, we appreciate everybody's support. We love talking to everybody, and Brandy, we're always going to be available. That's how we roll. So
I'll always be available.
Yeah. I talk to you guys more than I talk to my own family.
Right?
Same here.
And I'm sorry that we talked for 3 hours. God help us all.
I'm not sorry.
It was an interesting 3 hours. There's a big difference between a lot of these shows. Hey, here's the score. Here's the story. Here's the story. Brandy, I love you. Thank you for having me on, my sister. And you guys rock like Kiss concerts do, especially with all members, not just the original members.
I'm out.
Well, no, I appreciate it. And actually, yeah, she usually wakes up when she's got to go to the bathroom. So I got to go take her out, and I haven't eaten dinner yet, so I should probably do that. But I do want to thank everybody who watched tonight. I mean, we've had a consistent number watching this evening, and I appreciate you guys taking so much time with us this evening and showing us off everything and talking about this cool stuff that's coming out. I think it's just going to continue to roll and keep building that momentum of people just, wanting this. There you go.
That was for Michael.
Michael's like, what? I'm moving for this company? Good Lord.
Thank you.
Am I now?
Yes, you are.
All
right.
Okay, good.
Well, all right, and when you guys get your prizes, make sure that you guys do an unboxing, show those off, and for Ketons, make sure that you guys reach out and thank MI Pops for that stripe, because they donated that. So, all right, you guys, until next time. Actually, next week is it's on the 15th. I'm doing Valenbirth, so we're gonna do some Valentine's Day stuff and my birthday at the same time. So, because I can't celebrate with my family because they all have COVID right now. So,
hey, sometimes the best birthdays are the ones you spend alone. I know how that's gonna go.
I still got Lisa, so we're good to go.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna do a painting our own figures, and we're gonna teach you guys all to knit. Done.
All to knit. Yep.
Solid
penciling you in.
All right.
Thank you. All right. You guys rock.
All right. Everybody take care. Thanks, everybody. Have a great evening. See you next week.